Fret not friends. The Fan is still live and local with Fan Sports Saturday. Sure, the name might not be great, but what if we included Dane Sanzenbacher, a 4-year letterman at Ohio State, MVP of the 2010 football season, a former Cincinnati Bengal, and a man with 4 pairs of gold pants.
Player to the 15, to the 10, and taken down at the 8 is Terrell. Football fumbled at the end of the play. It's in the end zone and recovered by an Ohio State player for a touchdown.
Is that Dane Sanzenbacher?
It sure looks like it. He fell on the fumble in the end zone. Dane Sanzenbacher.
It's Fan Sports Saturday with Buckeye heartthrob Dane Sanzenbacher.
I think he's just dreaming.
Oh, and Eric Reiser, too.
I'm regularly out of line, so I think when I ask this question, it's going to be out of line. But this morning, when it's like mid-70s, and like this week, it's kind of been crisp to start the day. And I thought to myself, is this what it feels like when you're getting closer to football season?
Yeah.
When you wake up and there's just crispness to it. It's not like the maddening heat of the summer. It's almost fall-like, dare I say.
I don't think we're quite there yet, but I like that you're anticipating it. It still feels really hot to me right now.
Well, it's hot in the middle of the day,
Yesterday was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I didn't so much get that, but I think you're safe to do that, and I like that you're kind of even projecting where we're going to make yourself feel better about the heat.
Yeah, because we're less than a week out from the start of Ohio State's fall camp.
Yep.
You and I will be out there next Saturday for the spectacular for day 3 of the Buckeyes and their preparation to defend a national championship. Oh, and get ready to host Texas. And so the main question, I think our main mission for next Saturday is to find out who Ohio State's starting quarterback is.
Yeah, I think it's always good to set a clear goal when we have these shows. We've got 3 hours to do it, and there's a couple different ways we can go about doing it. So we discussed about the normal one would be trying to get a receiver, obviously.
Yeah, we get like Carnell Tate or Brandon Innes.
Yeah, maybe they give us some insight. But I think the better route would be trying to get somebody with less media experience. Maybe grab a specialist.
We get big Nick McLarty, our 6'8" punter.
Make him feel real comfortable. Chum it up for a good part of the segment.
We're good at that.
And trick him at the end. Say, so, are you the starting quarterback, or is it... See if he falls into it.
Yeah. Be like, so Nick, we know you've been practicing, obviously, punting for the past couple of months, but heard some chatter this week that you might be the backup quarterback, or there might be a Nick McLarty package available for Ohio State's offense.
Oh, okay, so it's not you. Then who would you say it would be then?
And then
these are impressionable kids.
He slips and goes, well, it's Julian.
Sure, yeah. Surely you and I are sharp enough to be able to trick him, right?
Well, here's what we do is we go in like the dopes that we are, and we make him feel all chummy, and we make him feel like...
Which we would do anyway.
Of course. Like, we're best friends from the jump. And then get him.
I think it's even less malicious, because we would be nice.
We'd have some fun, yeah.
Yeah. It's just in our selection of him, we're hoping that there's a little bit less attention and media training there.
Yeah.
That we could be the ones, you and I, they come up with a breaking news headline.
And it's also a way to gauge if Ohio State's actually listening to this program, because if we get there next week, we're like, we're not giving you a single player. You guys can get the hell out.
Then we know.
Go back to the studio with our ESPN program instead of you clowns. But we're on today for 3 hours, so we'll try to game plan for next week. It was a real busy week that included very little action on the field. Like, there was baseball. There was soccer last night with the Crew and Orlando City in town. And it was like 10 o'clock. I know a lot of things in Central Ohio had been delayed or even outright postponed. You heard Nate in the update. The Guardians were in Kansas City playing the Royals. Well, that got rained out, so they're going to do a doubleheader today. But the Crew had a delay. The Clippers had a delay. And like at 10:30, there were fireworks downtown. And I went out to see exactly what was going on. I figured, all right, maybe the Crew won, and they had a fireworks display to end the game. Or maybe the Clippers won, a fireworks display to end the game. Maybe it's July. So you got to use some of those 4th of July fireworks you weren't able to fully shoot off at the 4th of July weekend. but both games were still very much going on. So if you know what happened last night at like 10:30, why there were fireworks downtown, just let me know in the YouTube chat.
I was trying to look it up.
We're here with you for 3 hours. So you got time. If you kind of
we'll get to the bottom of it. That's a good running question of what were we celebrating at 10:30 last night.
So we've got goals for this week and goals for next week. This week's goal, very less serious than what we're trying to do next week.
Next week's is also fairly
unserious.
Fairly unserious.
I looked back at the last 2 years for Ryan Day to determine like when they made the official quarterback designation, and they were both on Thursdays, but two very different selections made by Coach Day. You had the year with Kyle McCord and Devin Brown, which went into week 3 of the season, where they were kind of playing with and or, and then he made the designation. I think the Thursday before the Youngstown State game, I want to say, he said it's Kyle's job. It might have been after the Youngstown State game. And then last year was the Thursday before the Akron game. Or the week before the Akron game, where he made the official designation that this was Will Howard's team. And boy, this year he's got, I think, the hardest of the 3 maybe, in terms of which quarterback am I going to put out there week 1, because you've got 0 experience in your quarterback room with legitimate starts in college football, and you've got Texas, your week 1 opponent. Mm-hmm. This isn't something you can just saunter into the regular season with anymore, or at least not for this year.
I think you want to find the quarterback that is most able to saunter. I vision my
sauntering?
Yeah, I think that projects some confidence that I want to see out of a young guy. Or there's rumblings of Nico Iamaleava in the transfer portal.
Again?
No, making things up.
That'd be kind of fun to see who would. I mean, because
that would be a turn, wouldn't it?
He took a pay cut to go from Tennessee to UCLA, so he'd have to take another pay cut to go from UCLA to Team X. Not been a great 8 months for Nico.
No,
you get your helmet caved in December. You hit the transfer portal a couple months later. You land at Conference Power UCLA. Like, what are the Bruins' expectations going into this year? Make a bowl game? You're an $8 million quarterback. Like, you had dreams of winning the Southeastern Conference.
He's got a 5-year plan. What is it? Don't die? Remember Big Daddy? Anybody?
Gosh, it's been a while since I've seen an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah,
I do have to crack Happy Gilmore 2. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, that was actually a great segue into that. I didn't mean to veer off.
Oh, we're veering for the next 3 hours, bud.
Yeah, Big Daddy, when his girlfriend's leaving him, and she's leaving him for like the cook or the manager at Hooters.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, he's got a 5-year plan. And he's like, what is it? Don't die?
We're also going to be talking about Hooters in the program.
See?
That'll be the 3rd hour.
This is what we do in the first hour. We lay it all out in one rambling, semi-connected to everything we'll talk about. I think we'll probably even mention Nico at some point again.
Well,
so we'll come back to it.
There's definitely a mention about Nico Iamaleava. His Bruins, still weird to say, still weird to think about UCLA being in the Big Ten. But they'll be in Columbus.
We're in L.A.?
No, you're in L.A. now, but you'll be in Columbus this season. And one of the games, when we do, programs to look out for or games to look out for this season, that Ohio State-UCLA game ain't one of them.
I think it is. I still believe in just good color clashes. Even if it's not the talent on the field, I think that college is still a place where a good uniform clash lives.
I agree. Yeah.
And as bad as the Bruins are, those are all-timer colors.
They are. That's a
very cool.
A historic program. They play in one of the best arenas in sport. Yeah.
I'm finding the bright side of all this.
No, you're going to have to paint that turd gold. Because that's a team that was very questionable coming into the Big Ten. And they were one of 18 teams that were represented this week at Big Ten Media Days in Las Vegas, which still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I know Commissioner Tony Petitti said that it was because Lucas Oil in Indianapolis was booked. I don't know how you book a whole city, but this week at Lucas Oil was the North American Youth Conference. So they bumped the Big Ten, and the conference couldn't find anywhere else in the Midwest to host their media days. They had to go all the way out to Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And
that seems to be more of a theme as the Big Ten tries to brand itself as this national brand. That, like, okay, Vegas, it kind of just seems like the guys in charge are like, it seems fun. Indy's kind of, it's kind of boring. Why don't we just? It's
wrong.
Certainly. Let's just go. Let's do it in Vegas.
But the idea of a media days is to have people talking about your conference. People that normally don't talk about your conference. And that wasn't the case this week. Because it was only us knuckleheads here and other psychos in parts of the Big Ten footprint.
It was just all
That
it was
gave
just
a
us
hoot
here
about the
like, hey,
conference.
what about Michigan's punishment? it was just all Columbus
wrote a
like,
letter?
hey, wait, what about the letter, Tony? Like we're the only ones that care.
At this point, I think so.
We are.
Like Ohio State fans, and it's deserved that Ohio State fans want their pound of flesh from Michigan.
I still want it. I'm also realistic that it's more and more clear that we're the only ones still fighting this fight.
Okay, Michael says in the YouTube chat, picnic with the Pops with the Ohio State marching band.
Shot off fireworks.
Okay.
At 10:30?
Sure. I think you have till 11. If you're playing in an open-air arena, like Historic Crew Stadium, you have till 11. No, it's midnight on the weekends, 11 o'clock on the weekdays, where you can make as much noise as possible. But then as soon as that goes from 59 to 00, you have to be done. So at 10:20, 10:30, that makes some sense on a Friday night because you got to go home.
All right. I'll buy that.
I will too. Because that's the best. I mean, that's the best I can think of.
We got 2 hours to come up with something better.
Yes, that's true. I saw last week at the Schottenstein Center, I saw Creed on Sunday.
How was it?
It was so good.
Good.
But they didn't get done till like 12:30. It was really, come on.
Boy.
Why are we doing that, Creed?
Because you have to.
No, you don't.
Because when you're that age of a band, you need people walking away spreading a legend.
Don't need people
like, wow, they outlasted us. They can stay up real late.
I'll tell you what.
You need that.
Scott Stapp, for being in his 60s, was very, in very good shape.
See, that's what it is. That's what they need. When you're touring at that age and at this point, you need to go above and beyond. And wow, it's not just play the hits anymore. It's like, we're going to stay up past bedtime.
I'm not sure why I put the Creed thing together. It might have been because it was the Schottenstein Center where Ohio State Marching Band sometimes performs, and the Ohio State Marching Band was downtown playing with the Columbus Symphony Orchestra, and that's why the fireworks went off at 10:20. But yesterday, the Bengals got something done. We'll tell you about it next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon. Even if this promo is playing in the morning, no judgment.
Ah, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
A Johnny Bench highlight from this date, this July 26 in 1970. Bench, who would go on to win the first of his 2 MVP awards in 1970 and who would lead the league in home runs with 45, hit 3 home runs against the Cardinals at Riverfront Stadium on this date, and all came off future Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton. Johnny hit home runs in his first 3 at-bats. In the first inning, in the second, and in the fifth. He had 7 RBIs altogether. And it came on a rare day when Bench wasn't catching. He had a day off from behind the plate and started in left field. And it paid off with 3 home runs for Johnny Bench this July 26, 1970, this date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Irish adventure awaits at the Dublin Irish Festival August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food and fun. Enjoy unique Irish experiences as you explore one of the top festivals in the US. Drawing over 90,000 guests to Dublin, Ohio each year. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Attack and dominate. Morning Juice is on YouTube and 10 TV Plus.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Join Bobby Carpenter and Tito weekdays starting at 6 or watch on demand. More Bobby, less commercials. The Fan.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with Speedy Rewards and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Jerry, I've made a decision.
Aaron, are you giving away free services again?
Well, yeah. How did you know?
I haven't been able to quit thinking about your AC piggy bank.
Get Eco.
ECO.
We work to extend the life of their old air conditioner and then give back all the money we were paid to do it.
Up to $1,500.
When they need to buy a new system.
Jerry, I'm getting ready to do something like that again.
Get Eco.
ECO.
When we replace a water heater, I'm instructing all the Eco plumbers to give our customers up to $500 in free repairs before they leave the house.
$500 in free services that same day?
There's lots and lots and lots of things our plumbers can do for $500 or less.
And Eco is going to do these things for free when people buy a water heater?
Yeah, whatever they want for free.
That same day?
Same day.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Go to geteco.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Aaron White here with your 10 weather impact forecast. Heat and humidity stick around here for the weekend. Highs around 94 today, but it will feel like it's in the mid to upper 90s here this afternoon. That will also feel the chance for a few scattered showers and storms, but a better chance arrives here for tomorrow on your Sunday. We'll see highs in the mid to upper 80s, but we're back to the 90s on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before a big cool down with highs in the upper 70s to near 80 here on Thursday and Friday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
Matty Ice has a large tattoo on his calf of LeBron eating a lion. I have nothing else to say. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Reiser, Dane, Nate, bugging you until 1 o'clock today. Following us will be Buckeye Replay, Ohio State and Oregon, the 2015 College Football Playoff National Championship game. It was then Pac-12 member Oregon. But we all kind of, I feel like as a collective Ohio State fan base, forget a lot about that game because you beat Alabama in the Sugar Bowl, and then you already feel like you're national champions because you've dethroned the king of the SEC.
Yes, I think you've hit, and we'll go into it in later segments, but you've hit on one of my key gripes about all of the constant chatter now about perfecting this playoff, is that college fans, you know, does anybody really, we didn't win the national championship in 2006.
No.
Nobody's real feelings are hurt that much about it. There's still people all over the state that have chunks of that Ohio State-Michigan game grass in their house.
Yeah.
That game. It's like, yeah, you kind of already felt like you won it when you beat Alabama. You probably could have lost, and people are going into that offseason like, man,
that was awesome.
That was awesome. Like, they just got off an awesome roller coaster. So, I mean, you know, perfect away with the playoff, but missing the plot a little bit,
I think,
in my opinion.
The perfecting a postseason in college football, the train has left the station, and it's not coming back. There will never be a perfect system. There's just going to be more, and we'll get into that more as the show progresses. But for that 2006 game against Florida, I think just the way it happened just getting your ass kicked in the desert like that was what made it kind of still painful for Ohio State fans. I think if you lose a close one to Florida, you still have the game of the century between Ohio State and Michigan as but we won the game of the century. And for a lot of Ohio State fans, yes, being around, living in Columbus, the feeling in the month plus lead up to that title tilt against the Gators was like, yeah, Ohio State's the best team ever. Can do no wrong.
I still don't even believe they resolved the championship.
And
I still think they were the best team that year.
For a lot that's been said about that, it felt like the team believed it too and didn't necessarily go into that game against the Gators in the best preparation. But we won't play that game for you. We'll play a game Ohio State wins in the title tilt. Spoiler alert, Buckeyes beat the Ducks in this one. You did have, and you'll have plenty of comments from Dan Lanning about that Rose Bowl that Ohio State just stomped Oregon. It was like 41-21, I think was the final score, but it doesn't do it justice, just how bad it was for Oregon. He's got to come into this season, Dan Lanning, with a new quarterback and trying to get over that. When you go 13-0 in the regular season, if you're the Oregon Ducks, you win the Big Ten in your first year in the conference. You're flying as high as ever. And Penn State gets the path that it does. To your point about the college football playoff, Penn State gets the path it does with SMU and Boise State. Here you go, Oregon, you get a bye. Then there's Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. But congratulations on the season.
Great season.
So Dan Lanning's going to have to live that down up only until he can capture a national championship. I'm going to have to give credit where credit's due. I've been critical of the Cincinnati Bengals for the past couple of months since the Trey Hendrickson news really started to percolate that neither side was happy with the other. And I didn't get it from the Bengals side. I'm like, what are you mad about Trey for? Why is Katie Blackburn saying that he just needs to appreciate the deal put in front of him? Like, whoa, way to not have any read of the room there, daughter of Mike Brown, who's only in that position because she's the daughter of Mike Brown. Like, it's Nepo babies, not so anonymous in the NFL. And for anybody, I mean, even for the Browns, they say stuff all the time where I go, read the room. Like, know your fan base a little bit, where a historically cheap organization should not be telling a player out loud, hey, just take what we give you because you're multimillionaires. Don't be doing that to the guy who led the NFL in sacks. Like, you need Trey Hendrickson this season if you're the Cincinnati Bengals. Stop monkeying around with this.
Yeah, there's a big chunk of these contract disputes that is about appearances, and it's about what the media is going to cover. I guess organizations have different ways that they go about that or even caring about it. Cincinnati doesn't seem to buy into that too much. They're like, all right, we see you as value. Let's, what can we get here? Okay, don't think you're worth that. Yeah, great year last year, but we're paying for the next 2 years, and you're getting up there, kid. I mean, I could get it if you're kind of deaf to the media, such as ourselves, that are just going to go round and round, and the fan base.
Yeah.
But if they're taking any notes from the Browns, fans just keep coming back. I don't know what you guys are doing.
They'll never
and I say
leave.
You guys.
Browns
because,
fan.
Yeah. And so there's really nothing you can do to make them go away. I think maybe you've topped out. If you're Bengals, you're like, our fans are locked in.
It is the awful quote from the Castellinis that were like, where are you going to go? They're right. But when you talk about with Cincinnati and taking an odd stance on a contract, no, they haven't gotten the Trey Hendrickson news done to pay off on the T's. They got the Shamar Stewart deal done. They made him, he's the final first-round pick to not sign. He has signed a fully guaranteed contract worth $18.97 million. 10.4 is his signing bonus. Now, the consternation between the two sides was over those guarantees. They didn't want to guarantee any of it. Well, they wanted to have language in the contract that would void all of the guaranteed money if he were to run afoul of the organization or the law. A guy who had historically not done any of that. And they wanted to set the precedent of doing that with all of their picks. And so they were going to use him to be that. I understand where his representation was, no, we're not going to have him be that. Our client will not be the guy you can look to in future years and go, well, no, we did it with Shamar. And I completely understand him for doing that. It was really stupid that they were going to take the guy that was supposed to replace Trey Hendrickson, or at least be his successor, and monkey around with his contract language, like they're monkeying around with Trey Hendrickson's contract. Oh, you also had Sam Hubbard retire in the offseason. So you desperately need help along your defensive front, and you did the right thing drafting a defensive end with the first pick, and then you got Demetrius Knight in the second round. He's a edge linebacker that can rush the passer, because that's what you need to do in the National Football League outside of scoring a ton of points. So the idea that they finally came off their, came to their senses and did a deal that's, $18 million for a first-round pick is fair market value, given the position he was drafted. And now you have him happy. You have him in camp where he can actually take valuable NFL reps that you will need to not have a slow start to the season.
Odd timing because of these two positions. Clearly one you need filled, but that is, we've been talking about it for months. I do think they got the more important one done first.
I agree.
Because it is more important for him to be in camp and get moving. If I'm Trey Hendrickson, you're probably like, why don't you... what year is this for him? 8, 9?
Yeah, he doesn't need to be in camp.
So he's probably like, why don't you... All right, listen, go ahead. Do Shamar first. Come get me. Because I don't really feel like being in camp anyway. Any excuse I can get. So I wouldn't be surprised if, focus on that now. Get it done. Get it figured out. Because that one doesn't seem as complicated. It sounded like for Shamar Stewart, they were able to compromise a little bit and give him more guaranteed up front.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a. You would think, and it sounds like that language is utilized by most organizations.
It's starting to percolate a little bit more, but I would still, if I had a client,
you wouldn't want it to be you.
Yeah,
you wouldn't want it to be your guy. So I kind of understood
it's
the argument.
The perception thing, going back to what you were saying earlier.
Yeah, because if you're down the road and it's such a small possibility, but that's a lot of money, but very small possibility that a guy's going to be in a situation where this guy's in, the quote that was even in there was like, hey, this guy's in jail for the next 4 years. Do we still owe him this?
Yeah.
It would be we would be saying it's very Bengals to still be on the hook for that. Like, how does everybody else have this in their contracts and you guys don't have it? So at least they're moving towards trying to get something figured out there. Because it does make sense. But yeah, if I was the agent, I wouldn't want it. All right, not with my guy.
But it's good we're day 4 of training camp. You can bring Shamar Stewart in probably on Monday and get things rolling. I think we're only less than 2 weeks out from the start of the preseason. So I know there was something that was this week from Cincinnati where, Joe Burrow wants to play more in the preseason. And they're going to have their quarterback, their offense, their whole team. All of the ones are playing more preseason games than ever before. Here's the Bengals quarterback, Joe Burrow, talking about the desire to play more preseason football.
For me, you can practice full speed against the defense all you want, but you're not getting hit. You're not quite feeling that, and the D-line is stopping. Free runners are stopping a couple yards before they get to you. So number one, you can work on scrambling a little bit, and you get that timing of how quickly you actually have to get the ball out of your hands in those preseason games, whereas in training camp, you try to simulate that as best as you can, but it's not quite the same.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. I want to get your thoughts on it, Dane, in 2 minutes. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Stepping into the Kia K4 or K5 isn't just getting behind the wheel of any average sedan. It's stepping into what's next. With a K4, it's a world that's exciting. With a K5, it's one that's bold. The Kia K4 and K5, the next movement for sedans. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Lease a new 2025 K4 LXS for $219 a month for 24 months with $34.99 due at signing for well-qualified lessees.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. New 2025 K4 LXS 2.0 liter FWD IVT 24,165 MSRP. MSRP includes destination handling and excludes taxes, title, registration, license fees, options, and retailer charges. No security deposit required. Actual prices set by dealer and may vary. Purchase option at lease end at $17,157.15. Subject to credit approval by Kia Finance. Lessee is responsible for insurance, maintenance, repairs 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles a year, excess wear, and a termination fee of up to $400. Subject to dealer participation. Offers may not be combined except where specified. Must take delivery by 8/4/25. Limited inventory available.
And we're back talking all things connectivity with Spectrum customers Kev and Melissa. So tell us, how long have you been with Spectrum and how important is a reliable internet connection?
We've been Spectrum customers since we moved 12 years ago. The first thing we did is sign up for Spectrum Internet.
You get a lease, you get Wi-Fi.
Yes,
immediately.
We need that. We had Spectrum Wi-Fi before our couch got here.
That's true. That's a true story.
I'll sleep on the floor, but I won't go to bed with no internet.
You heard it here. Switch to Spectrum now.
final days. Diamonds Direct Summer Showcase ends this Sunday, but there's still time to make it unforgettable. Get an extra 20% off almost everything. Engagement rings, wedding bands, earrings, gold jewelry, tennis bracelets, and stunning fashion jewelry. Plus, this weekend only, top designers from New York and LA are live in store with exclusive collections you can't find anywhere else. The sparkle, the savings, the moment. Don't miss it. Only through Sunday, only at Diamonds Direct. Appointments are filling fast. Get details at diamondsdirect.com.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Tinny.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
And for those out there that are just kind of getting the Eric Reiser experience on Saturday, less used, more used to me on Bishop and Friends. When I've hosted Bishop and Friends, as Bo's been out on vacation, I have said Sports Saturday on the Fan. So I guess it was only a matter of time before on the Saturday program I told you it was Bishop and Friends on the Fan before going to commercial break. Sorry to all of you who fell, and to Dane especially. Is Dane Sanzenbacher, is who I'm hosting with today.
Well, if you were mistaking me for Bishop, I'm honored.
Well, you're both very dapper gentlemen.
I tucked my shirt in.
So, is that by choice?
Well, nobody did it for me.
That's true. Tucked your own.
Typically.
Yeah. In, up. I wanted to ask about the Bengals' plan to not play or not have any joint scrimmages. So they're not going to go anywhere. They're not going to bring any teams in to do a couple of days of joint scrimmages. I think the past couple of years they've resulted in fights. Like I do think the last couple of off seasons you've heard about the Bengals getting into a little scuttlebutt with teams. And I do think it is because it's such an alpha male sport. And once you get to a point in camp where you're just like tired of hitting people that have the same uniform you do, and you want to get some aggression out on somebody else, and that comes to a head. Like these are large human beings, very aggressive. But they're not going to do the joint practices. They've got 3 preseason games. Starts Thursday, August 7th. They're going to be at the Philadelphia Eagles. But as you just heard from Joe Burrow in the last segment, they're going to do a lot more preseason than ever before. I talk about the ones offensively and defensively. What the heck does more mean? I don't know. But in years past, he hasn't been able to play games in the preseason. They've kind of wanted to hold on to his health and walk him up to the start of the regular season, but it's been a slow start to the regular season. So this does kind of feel to me that there's a chance whenever you have like a coach that gets fired, if he's a player's coach, then they go away from that and they go to like the analytics guy, or if they have the analytics guy, then they go to the player's guy. And it's like, I don't know if you need to do a complete 180 on your preseason approach.
No, but I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's like, well, we got to do something different because the narrative right now is, hey, slow starts are hurting us. They're putting us in a hole, and it's been an issue. I guess you can point to the preseason. I don't know if that's all the way fair or if you're going to get that much more by having your guys out there playing more. Everybody's still well aware, like there's just a different feel of week one. I would say as far as being out I would want my quarterback saying that though. That's definitely where you want to be. If this is all about like, hey, because there still is a part of it, like what is the locker room vibe? And if the narrative is slow start, you need, well, whether it's real or feel, that we're doing something different this year. We're trying something different. We're gonna be out there more actually playing in these preseason games. So when week one comes around, we can just roll.
Now, the joke you can tell, and that I will tell you right now, is that for Cincinnati, week 1, Cleveland Browns. Week 2, Jacksonville Jaguars. Might those also be preseason contests? Might they feel like preseason contests? I'm a fan of what the Bengals are doing. I've been critical of Mike Brown and the poverty organization for the longest time, but everything that they're doing right now, it feels like it's going to work. Now, will that mean an AFC Championship game appearance? I don't know. I'm rooting for Joe. I've rooted for him since he was a kid playing at Athens High School, throwing 7 touchdowns in Ohio Stadium like a D6 title tilt because he's an Ohio guy. So I root for those. And so as a Browns fan, it's very weird to say that I would like to see the Bengals in the Super Bowl.
It wasn't D6. I think it was like D3.
Okay.
Because I think it was against my high school.
What was your high school?
Central Catholic, Toledo.
So Athens against, that's a pretty good matchup, especially with Joe Burrow. I mean,
I think I'm remembering that correctly. I'd have to look it up. It was after my time. Yeah, I'm a fan of it. I've never been a fan of the joint practices anyway, so I don't think you lose anything by not having those. They feel like a distraction. They are always awkward and contentious because all the reasons you mentioned. This is not a game. We're practicing. You're on somebody else's, like, using their facilities. It's weird. So I don't think you get much out of it. Sure, crank it up a little bit in the preseason if you feel like that's going to help. Really, whatever, if you're the coaching staff there, our job is to protect Joe Burrow, but if it keeps him happy, if he gets another extra series and can feel like, okay, I got tackled there and I'm more locked in, great, don't get hurt.
Plus, when your head coach is 1-11 in the first 2 weeks of the season as a head coach, maybe it's time to mix things up in the preseason.
Yeah, I think it's a very good point out of you, Nate, that you need to do something. And you hear, they don't want to risk him getting injured, but you can't be afraid of football. And there's the inherent injury risk with football. It would suck if the offense suffered a catastrophic injury because of extra preseason play. But I would just retort, you cannot be afraid of the game of football if you're looking to compete at the highest level in the NFL. And so that's and Cincinnati's all in this year. You're giving the money offensively the way you did. They're probably going to pay Trey. It might not be a ton of money, but I think they're going to make him happy. This is going to be a Super Bowl or bust kind of year. I think it should. And so I'm commending them on what they're doing.
Yeah, I'll be there with you. I don't even know how important. I mean, you don't. We'll see. You don't want to go 1-11. How much?
You cannot afford that start.
I don't think you can tie that all just to preseason. I think that's convenient, and maybe it's just an easy one.
It is.
I didn't watch all 12 of those games and say, like, hey, here's why you lost. It wasn't because you weren't prepared, weren't locked in, weren't ready. This was dumb call here, new bad offense here, whatever it could be. But
there were several times.
We strive to simplify things.
Yeah.
And
no, it's
so
true. We're not trying to be lazy, though.
I will say if they lose week 1, no AFC championship.
Yeah. I mean, everybody does the schedule game when they come out. And I don't think there was anybody here.
You can't beat the Browns.
There was nobody in this building, I will say, that picked the Bengals to lose to the Cleveland Browns in week 1. There may have been others outside of this building that might be on these airwaves. No names, please. But I think it's very fair to say, if you're doing it now, circle that game as a W for the Cincinnati Bengals. Cleveland Browns got some bad news this week. Linebacker Jordan Hicks retired on Friday. He was going into his 10th season in the National Football League, his second with the Cleveland Browns.
He had a 5-year plan?
I don't know. He might have had a 1-year plan and then realized, I'm not doing another one in this place. And again, that's the easy thing to say, where he spent a year in Cleveland and he realized, no thanks. But the dude was dealing with elbow, concussion issues last season. You're getting into your mid-30s. 33, I would still consider early 30s. 34, 35, 36 are your mid-30s. But when you get to that point, he was really, really good, early on in his career. He was great in Philadelphia. You thought you were going to get the similar production, and he was really good for the Browns last season, but he was just dealing with injuries. The thing that makes it even harder is that the 2 linebackers that Cleveland had put a lot on to start this season are not going to be available for you, because you had Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is dealing with a neck injury. He's probably not playing again. Like, that's, I think, what Cleveland told you when they took the linebacker out of UCLA in the second round before Quinshon Judkins. Like, their 2 picks in the second round, one was a linebacker, and you're like, that's not great for what it means for JOK. And that sucks, because you can't go out on your own terms, but a neck injury is a neck injury, and no doctor's going to sign off on that. So now Cleveland is into day 4 of training camp without a rookie running back, because Quinshon's dealing with legal issues in Florida, and now 2 linebackers that you thought you were going to be able to have this season.
Legal issues in Florida? Didn't hear about that.
No. No, it's bad. It's really bad for Quinshon.
All right. Well, I'll check that off offline here. The real question, though, with the Browns, what's happening at quarterback?
Well, that's a good segue.
I need more. That's the reality show that I love most and long for.
The Browns do have 4 quarterbacks, and whenever there's injuries or suspensions or anything that might happen at training camp, I thought about it this week. Justin Fields went down, I think it was the second day of practice. He rode a cart off the practice field. And, of course, that gets reported as he got carted off the practice field, which I guess is technically right, but he got his toe stepped on.
I get carted through golf courses.
I thought you walked yesterday.
I did yesterday, but
How was
usually
that?
I get carted. I get carted off golf courses. It was
not preferred?
Yeah, it wasn't my best weekend.
You've had the card on the course. You can't go back.
Yeah, it didn't work out great for me.
But for Justin Fields, they give him a $40 million contract. He's your QB1. Day 2 of training camp, he goes down. The vibes aren't high there. In the back of my head, I go, well, the Browns have 4 quarterbacks.
Genius.
And I don't think they're taking all 4 into the season. All 4 aren't making that 53. So I think the best case scenario for Cleveland, and this is kind of messed up that my head goes there, was if a quarterback goes down, you've got Kenny Pickett, you've got Joe Flacco. Hey, would you like one of them? Because, again, they're not taking 3, and they're not trading Dylan Gabriel. Will they cut Shedeur Sanders? He's a 5th-round pick. He's a 5th-round quarterback. But he's Shedeur Sanders. Everybody wants to talk about in Cleveland. Is Kenny Pickett getting the start or Shedeur Sanders? And as a Browns fan, I look to when you have a 5th-round quarterback that's not getting any reps with the ones at practice, okay, I don't care. The coaching staff, the front office needs this season for Cleveland to be a bunch of wins because their asses are all on the line here. And you're not going to give it to a quarterback you took in the 5th round. You traded for Kenny Pickett, so you're going to give him the best chance to start. That's different from how Browns fans feel, because I think most Browns fans are like me that have no interest in seeing Kenny Pickett anymore. Saw enough of him in Pittsburgh, saw limited action in Philadelphia. That's not an NFL quarterback I think can win you games.
Well, that's the question. It's like, okay, if all of our jobs are on the line here, do you feel like it's Kenny Pickett that's going to save my job? That's what I'm saying. Like, you draft all these guys because you want to send them into camp. You're like, do you go out in a blaze of glory and say, all right, whatever, Sanders it is. Season ticket holders, buckle up. Here we go. From a non-Browns fan, my favorite thing is like the dumpster fire. So I'm endlessly curious about the genius.
It just feels mean at this point, Dane, when we do this show and you just keep poking me about the Browns.
I poke, but I am on record as saying, like, it might be, I don't hate the strategy of just drafting a bunch of quarterbacks. It's the most valuable position for wins, and it's hard to predict who's going to be the great ones.
Yeah.
You took 4. It's not a bad.
I agree with the strategy of drafting multiple quarterbacks, but you didn't need to bring in 2 other quarterbacks in the same offseason.
Better chances.
You'll hear from one of the 4 Browns in contention for QB1, Week 1 against the Cincinnati Bengals coming up next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Common Man here for Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton. My guys at Germain are celebrating their biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. Tons of vehicles on the lot for you to choose from, and they're ready to deal. It's also the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event with rates as low as 2.99%. I was riding in my Lexus on one of our hot summer days, and I felt the crisp breeze of cold air on my cracky. Don't you want that for yourself? Of course you do. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with 0 experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with a thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with Speedy Rewards, and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowes.com/delivery for more details.
Another Buckeye Fall Camp. It's full of anticipation, preparation, and a bunch of our dummies yakking about it. Morning Juice, T-Bone and Tybus, and Bishop and friends will be in attendance. The fun starts Thursday morning at 6 on The Fan.
Save a good deal more with hot deals on Meyer brand must-haves, including new breakfast favorites all season long. Meyer brand syrup, pancake mix, and instant oatmeal are all just $1.79 each. Plus, students will enjoy the well-packed backpack Good Life with back-to-school supplies for $1 or less, including Meyer brand 24-count crayons, Meyer brand 70-sheet notebooks, and Crayola Classic Colors markers. Shopping for breakfast essentials and back-to-school supplies is a good deal better at Meyer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meyer app.
Ready to ride the waves or hit the road for less? Refinance your boat or motorcycle loan with CME and let them try to beat your rate by 1.5% APR. Enjoy no payments for 90 days and rates as low as 6.25% APR. It's never been easier to lower your rate and free up cash. Make the smart move. Refinance with CME today. Terms and conditions apply. Minimum floor rate of 6.25% APR. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit CMEFCU.org for additional details. You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With TrueHold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. TrueHold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since TrueHold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit TrueHold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, you are. Eric Reiser and Dane Sanzenbacher rolling with you until 1 o'clock today. Then we'll have Buckeye Replay coming your way at 1 p.m. Ohio State and Oregon, the 2015 College Football Playoff National Championship game. I won't spoil that for you. You'll just have to listen to Timmy Hall's presentation of it. Again, coming up at 1 o'clock. You've also got Reds and Rays this evening, 6:40. First pitch in Cincinnati. You can hear that game, of course, on the Fan. Reds rolled the Rays last night 7-2. They are 4 games above 500 on the season, 1 game out of an NL wildcard spot. Guardians got rained out last night in Kansas City. They'll do a doubleheader today at 2:40. Dane, before we get to the Cleveland Browns, I'm interested, as knower of baseball as you are, with the trade deadline coming up on Thursday, what are your White Sox going to do?
It's just buy.
Yeah,
just buy everything.
I just think you have to.
Anything you can afford.
Yeah.
I want your pockets flipped inside out. I want
38 and 66. You
flying like Hoover flags.
Anybody.
Yeah. I want everything you got. Bring it.
That's fair. I would expect nothing less. I mean, they're the Pope's team. So you got to do it for the Pope.
They need something.
Pope Leo might need to call the organization and be like, what are we getting into? Like, we'd better be dealing at the deadline or I'll come down there. The last thing you want's an angry Pope.
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard. The Browns fan base is always angry as I transition from fake anger to kind of all the time anger with Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And being a Browns fan, having lived and worked up there, I get it. It's been a lot. You like to call it a dumpster fire. Can't say I disagree with that statement. It's fine. It's correct.
I think I'm done. I was thinking about it over the break, and I've been a little harsh.
They do a good job of not getting out of their own way. Such was the case this week when they unveiled their Alpha Dog uniforms. It's just all brown. It's very dark brown. Brown helmet, brown top, brown bottom. Brown bottom helps in a lot of situations. Brown and orange you can't really do a lot with. It's not a very sexy color scheme. Bowling Green fans know this. Cleveland Browns fans know this. So I didn't hate the design of it. I didn't hate the look. They're doing it for 3 games this season. So, okay, fine. I get it because like Mel Brooks said in Spaceballs, it's merchandising. And I get why you're doing all of these. The Buffalo Bills are doing stuff with it. I saw the Falcons. I saw the Cardinals. I saw the Steelers had throwbacks. I saw the Packers had throwbacks that included like leather airbrushed helmets.
Yeah, it's almost like the marketing teams have their own competitions going for these franchises. Yeah, you can't be quiet because if it's your job, you're like, oh, the Eagles did this. Oh, well, we're doing this. All right, well, we got a barge. We're going to get on the water and do something. So it's a one-upping in completely unrelated departments to what you're doing on the field.
And the games are going to be against the Packers, against the Dolphins, and against the Titans. So 2 of those 3 games I expect the Browns to be somewhat competitive in. Somewhat.
It's not like you're even using these as it's not a recruiting tool.
Yeah.
I guess it's for off-season
it's
content.
to sell jerseys, and it's to, like you eloquently put it, not be last in the pack for the marketing departments. Sure. So sure.
More brown. Yeah, they're having these meetings. They're just like, what do you think, Jen? She's like, more brown? Yes, love it.
They did totally fake the guy falling into the lake.
Truly faked it?
There was a bunch of influencers on the barge when they unveiled the helmet, and he took a comical extra step off the platform into the lake. Because then someone released the video of his camera and what it looked like falling off the barge into the lake.
It's far too steady for somebody who was actually falling.
It was planned. Which is, again, fine. I guess you want to have your vote. We're talking about it on Saturday when there's so much else to be doing. Like, we got to go to Vegas in the next hour for Big Ten Media Days.
Is it that much more ridiculous than unveiling a helmet that's just brown?
It's a microcosm of the franchise, who has 4 quarterbacks competing for a job this season. They have Shedeur Sanders, who they drafted in the 5th round. They have Dylan Gabriel, who they drafted in the 3rd round. They have Joe Flacco, who they picked off the couch. They have Kenny Pickett, who they traded Dorian Thompson-Robinson for from the Philadelphia Eagles. I get the idea that they need a quarterback, and they also have Deshaun Watson in the room. So I guess they have 5 quarterbacks. I don't want to see the 5th one ever again. Like, I'll get you a drink next June 2nd, I think, is when they can rid themselves finally of Deshaun.
Is he physically
drinks are on me there. From what he posts on Instagram, yes. He's physically there grinding for the haters who want to see him fail.
Oh my God.
I'm raising my hand. You cannot see me do it, but I am one of those. I hope he fails. He's a terrible human being. I do not hope the same for Shedeur Sanders. I hope he succeeds. I have nothing against him.
Oh, he will, Eric. He's your guy.
I guess.
Just hitch your wagon now.
He's a 5th-round pick that isn't getting reps with the ones through 2, probably 3, 4, 5 days of training camp. Dane Sanzenbacher, with the teams you played for in the NFL, did you ever see that be the case? Where the 5th-round pick or the late-round quarterback was ignored through training camp?
I don't even remember having a 4th string quarterback. Maybe you did, but they certainly weren't being talked about.
Never.
It's not. They're useful, but they don't even have any aspirations of being kept on the team. This is a 3-week stint and trying to get good tape. This is not about starting position. So this is a unique one.
So I understand the fervor with Shedeur Sanders. I understand Tony Grossi asking Shedeur the question, why haven't, through a couple of days, you gotten any reps with the ones?
That's not my place, to answer, to even be able to give the answer to that. I feel like it's not in my control. So I'm not even going to think about that or have that even in my thought process of why it is. Like, it's a lot of people that want to have the opportunity to be at this level, and I'm here, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity. So whenever that is, it is. But it doesn't make me feel down, or it doesn't make me feel left out or anything, because I know who I am as a person, I know who I am as an individual, and I know what I could bring to this team. So I can never feel less than, in any circumstance.
He's the 4th string quarterback of a team that's got preseason play starting 2 weeks from yesterday. They got to get the guy that they want. They got to get the guy they think gives them the best chance to win the option to start. Right now, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel are projects. Projects you get reps in preseason games, projects that you might not even bring to the 53-man roster. Like that, the idea of them taking 4 quarterbacks into camp is still something I'll believe it when I see it.
I hope they do. And I hope they get Hard Knocks. Have they announced Hard Knocks yet?
It's the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, okay.
It's a team of actual consequence. You only have 53 people on the roster. You don't have 2 linebackers. You're without your highest drafted running back. You need other players at other positions. So because of the Jordan Hicks retirement, they got a wide receiver because you need wide receiver help because you didn't have any money to pay anybody else. You have other situations of need than just your quarterback spot. But I do get the desperation with it because you can't win in the league without a quarterback. So the Browns are only in a terrible position that they put themselves in. Ohio State's always going to be in a great position. Ohio State's always going to be head and shoulders better than most of the rest of the Big Ten. So the commissioner needs to stop treating Ohio State like Rutgers. We'll discuss that next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Waddle, hop, or gallop your way to adventure. The Columbus Zoo invites you to follow the footsteps and the tails of animals from around the world. Explore 8 wild regions, including our newest North America trek. So what are you waiting for? Get your tail to our trails, only at your Columbus Zoo. Get more information and tickets at columbuszoo.org.
At United Dairy Farmers, peach is our most popular ice cream. And once you taste it, you'll know why. Right now, get 2 48-ounce cartons of UDF peach ice cream for $10. It's only here for a short time. UDF peach ice cream, made for you.
It's the summer event at Germain Honda of Dublin, and Rich has unbeatable offers. Lease a sleek 2025 Honda Accord LX for as low as $329 a month, or finance it with 3.99% APR. Or upgrade to adventure with the 25 Honda Pilot Sport all-wheel drive. Leases starting at $429 per month or 4.49% APR. Drive into summer with style, comfort, and confidence. Visit Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for details.
Update your home with new gutters and save big money on everything now at Menards. Gutters are essential for controlling rainwater runoff, protecting your home's foundation, and keeping basements dry. White, brown, and black aluminum gutters are in stock and ready to take home today. Aluminum gutters are on sale now in store or on Menards.com. Plus, check out more of the great deals going on now.
Save big money at Menards.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Get Eco.
ECO. When your drain is clogged, our drain team will clear it for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it will stay clear for at least a year, or we'll clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Go to geteco.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Nate Butterball. In Cincinnati last night, the Reds beat up on the Rays 7-2. Tyler Stevenson homered and drove in 3 runs to lead the Reds. Nico Martinez struck out 5 in the win, and Zach Littell allowed his league-leading 26th home run in the loss. Game 2 of their series comes your way tonight at 6:40. Ryan Pepio takes the mound for the Rays, squaring off against Andrew Abbott. Catch the action right here on The Fan. The Cleveland Guardians game with the Royals was rained out last night in Kansas City. They'll play a doubleheader today. Game 1 is at 2:40. Gavin Williams pitching for the Guardians, with Game 2 set for 7:15. Tanner Bybee taking the mound. And the NFL, the Bengals and Shamar Stewart finally reached agreement on a 4-year, fully guaranteed $18.7 million deal. And Justin Fields returned to the Jets after an injury scare. And last night, Columbus Crew SC fell to Orlando City 3-1. Breaking sports news when it happens to the Fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Because the North American Youth Conference was holding an event at Lucas Oil this past week, the Big Ten had to go to the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas for their football media days. So if you were wondering why the hell did they go out to Vegas, well, everybody was wondering it when they were actually out in Las Vegas this past week. Because it just, doesn't scream real Big Ten to be in the desert in July. Like, there are several other cities in the Big Ten footprint. Detroit, Chicago, Columbus. I mean, Columbus is just Indianapolis.
Yeah.
In the same city.
Spelled different.
I mean, I don't know what...
No, it is spelled different.
Very different. I was just trying to wonder what was it nationwide this past week, or why you couldn't do it, on Ohio State's campus. But for Tony Patini, the commissioner of the conference, I understand that he is at the behest of the 18 members of the conference. But when you talk about the most important thing with college athletics is to make money. Sorry for anybody who doesn't feel that should be the case. But college athletics, in all its wonderful amateurism, is there to make money for its member institutions. And Tony Petitti's job is to return the most money he possibly can to those 18 institutions. So when he gets up there to speak about a college football playoff expansion, about a play-in weekend, he's doing that so that all of the schools can share in the wealth that those will bring. More football games will bring more money because those are more eyeballs, those are more opportunities for ESPN and for the other television partners to make money off of that. And so that will return a greater reward for the conference. And he is beholden to Ohio State the same way he is beholden to Rutgers. But it shouldn't be the case. Because, and Ross Bjork's even said as much, that when you have so many teams that make the college football playoff, all of the conference shares in that. Now, I think that's the dumbest thing in the world. Why should anything Ohio State does in its lead up to winning a college football playoff national championship be fed back to Piscataway, New Jersey, or West Lafayette, Indiana? These two things aren't the same. It's been my gripe with this whole college sports commission and with the NCAA and the direction that they're trying to go and asking the federal government for help. You need to stop treating Power 4 football like you do Olympic swimming. They're not the same thing.
They're clearly not, but this is the scramble that happens when the legs, or really the foundation, which you already mentioned, is pulled out of a system, and it just doesn't work without it. And those legs are amateurism. Like, if you don't have it, you're going to constantly be doing this. So you could all day long say, like, well, those aren't the same things. Well, the nonsensical nature of it all is that, we're trying to make something work perfectly and feel like it makes a lot of sense when it was never built as a system to make sense. No. It was like these universities, it was advantageous to them to have sports programs because it helped enrollment and they could make some money on the side. And all right, let's set up some intercollegiate matchups. Like, this was a while ago, but that was the system as it was built. Well, as the snowball rolls, the glue to all of it is that this stays as amateur as we can, that this is just a sideshow. We go pro in other things other than sports. Like, that was the branding that it had to be. When that's not there, yes, you got to decide, Eric Reiser or Fan, what kind of nonsense you're willing to tolerate. Because if you're trying to get it perfect to say, like, hey, well, Olympic sports, if you're going to go down that rabbit hole, what are these things tied to academic institutions for in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, you could go all the way back to, like, you really got to squint at this uniquely American project that we have in intercollegiate athletics. So I don't know. Yeah, that's why we go round and round, and I guess the Big Ten Media Day just gives you more things to chew on.
Yes.
But it just gets to the point of I'm one of those that you apologize to when you started and saying, like, it's about making money. Sorry of those. Do you think it should? I try to eliminate should because I get where it's at. But with that, I don't care as much about how you organize your league. And it's like, yeah, if Rutgers, they're not the same thing, but I was never under the impression that the point was to build a perfect professional system out of amateur level athletes. It still is. I mean, these are good players, but these are 90% not professional players. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you can math it all you want, but I'm not as interested in like the outcome. I think it's just kind of, you're missing the point on some level.
Well, I do think, if you look at some schools around the country, like Alabama, for example, and just the change that's happened with that university over the last 20 years. And I think we can point to one thing on that, and that's Nick Saban. Like the changes in enrollment for some of these institutions have ballooned because of football, right? And so I do think the biggest, and I've said this before, the biggest solution to all of this is to separate football entirely and to have it be not something that's governed by the NCAA, have it something governed by whatever the College Sports Commission is going to be, but you separate that thing. And you make those football players employees of the university, and then you're able to kind of wrangle some control back to the universities and the institutions that had enjoyed it for so long. And similarly with the NCAA. But for the moneymaker of college athletics, it's college football. It's college football playoff. And we might not be dealing with expansion as soon as we thought we were going to be dealing with it because the Big Ten and the SEC can't come to an agreement on what expansion would look like. What we have now is a 12-team system. What we will have this upcoming season, a 12-team system. What we thought maybe in 26 was it would go to a 16-team system. Now, I do think it's going to go that way, but they've got to come to an agreement by December 1st. And right now what the Big Ten wants, and bear with me if I butcher this completely, the Big Ten wants a 4-4-2-2-1-3 model. And so what that would grant the Big Ten, four teams, automatic bids. You get the champion and 3 other automatic bids. The SEC wants is 5 plus 11. 5 automatic bids for the Power 4 and the Group of 5 conference champion, or the highest ranked Group of 5, and then 11 at-large bids. Now, those 11 at-large bids would likely come from a committee. So every Tuesday, starting in October, you get the College Football Playoff selection show, and you'd hear from the committee. All of it's inventory, right? All of it's stuff that they can sell, and then they can make up a giant bucket of money on. But the Big Ten and the SEC are going to be the two parties that make that decision, and they're far apart on it because of what I just said. Now, if you're like me, just go back to the damn computers. Like, have them churn out teams. Like, let's stop with the committee thing. Let's not do play-in games. Well, first off, I'll do play-in games because Tony Petitti wants on conference championship weekend there to be 4 games: the Big Ten championship and 3 other games that determine those 4 automatic qualifiers for the college football playoff. So you're going, 16, 17, 18 potential games in a college football season that will start August 30th and go till January 19th, January 20th. Here's Tony Petitti saying that, no, in fact, fans will love this idea.
We feel pretty strongly that fans will really gravitate to a play-in weekend, that, providing games that are do or die on the field will drive fan interest. Whether there's enough information that fans have in any one poll about what a new system will be, I'm not aware of how it was phrased or not. I just believe, and I'm talking to our league, the weekend that we're talking about where you'd have championship games and across all conferences, meaningful play-in games, I don't see how that's a bad thing for college football, and I think fans will gravitate to it.
I don't think they're going to gravitate the way he thinks, but he's a television executive, and so those guys are always super positive and people pleasers. So never tell you it's a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't think at any point in any of this decisions have been made off a, hey, what do the fans think? What do they want? Because if that was the case, there was nothing wrong with a lot of these systems because it was missing it wasn't the point to get it to be this perfect thing or this optimal matchups. You know, college football is never anywhere that you went as a fan because you needed to see the two top matchups on the field. If that were the case, it would have not ever gotten to this level of popularity. So this is another one of those, like, yeah, I think they'll watch it, if that's what you're saying. Like, yeah, if you put it on, we'll watch it. But don't put it on like the fans were like clamoring over this. This is executives. This is universities, NCAA, people that are trying to both protect the money, make sure they get it, and make more of it. It is not players and fans that are dictating. Yes, they will watch. And hopefully what we're standing back is just hoping you don't ruin the whole thing with your new models, your whatever you may do, and destroy whatever the heart of it was, because that was the cool part of it. I don't know. Cool. Big matchups. Yeah, get a bracket, get a playoff system.
Love a bracket.
That's fine. You know, I've said it before, like, these games have been played over wooden turtles for how long now?
Still are?
Yeah, still are. Like, I want to save the silliness in college football on some level. Like, let's not get it too serious. These are very good players, fun to watch, but the point is the fan loyalty comes from a tie to something deeper, alma mater, right, or your state, or whatever it is. It's deeper than, oh, okay, we got to get this is a fair playoff and then we'll crown a champion. It's just like, okay.
It is too big to fail, college football, in whatever form or fashion that they present it to us. When I hear that, and we'll hear a little bit more from Tony Petitti, which I know you're thrilled about. Ohio State, this affects them not at all, because they're always going to be in contention for the college football playoff in whatever amalgamation it comes. It's schools like Indiana and Illinois and Michigan State that will need to have these 4 play-in games to have one of the 4 at-large bids to make a college football playoff. That's what this is for.
My argument to that, and we can get into it a little bit more, is I think those teams, even for Ohio State, are important to the whole in a way that does help Ohio State more than abandoning them.
We'll get into that next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Are your leaky windows costing you money? Yes, they are. Right now, when you call my guys at Universal Windows Direct, you get payments as low as $99 a month or 12 months with no payments and no interest. Seriously, upgrade your home now and relax until next year. Call now and get a free in-home window and energy assessment. Choose the payment plan that's right for you. 614-502-5220 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Aaron, I'm freaking out a little that you're giving away $500 in free repairs whenever someone buys a new water heater.
When people are faced with an unexpected expense, an unexpected gift helps restore balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO. How many things can our plumbers do for $500 or less?
Tons of things.
Like what?
We can repair a toilet that's not working. We can replace a hose bib, install a utility sink or a vanity, run a water line to an appliance, replace a garbage disposal disposal.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Replace a shutoff valve, fix an exposed water leak.
What's an exposed water leak?
It's one you can see. It's not inside a wall and it's not underground.
And we're going to do these sorts of things for free just because a person buys a water heater?
Yeah, for free.
Because we're restoring balance to the universe?
Balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Who go to geteco.com.
At United Dairy Farmers, peach is our most popular ice cream. And once you taste it, you'll know why. Right now, get 2 48-ounce cartons of UDF peach ice cream for $10. It's only here for a short time. UDF peach ice cream, made for you.
We're taking our gaggle of morons to OSU Fall Camp. T-Bone and Tybus, Morning Juice, and Bishop and Friends. All broadcasting live from the Woody, starting Thursday morning at 6. Listen to The Fan. Watch on YouTube and 10TV+.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Irish Adventure awaits at the Dublin Irish Festival August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food, and fun. Enjoy unique Irish experiences as you explore one of the top festivals in the US. Drawing over 90,000 guests to Dublin, Ohio each year. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers.
And I'm his very overpaid celebrity endorser, Common Man. Bob, I heard somewhere, actually from you many, many times, that Worthington Jewelers is where Columbus gets engaged.
It's too bad you and Timmy can't engage the audience.
Good zing, Bob.
If you're thinking of popping the question, there's only one place to go.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Aaron White here with your 10 weather impact forecast. Heat and humidity stick around here for the weekend. Highs around 94 today, but it will feel like it's in the mid to upper 90s here this afternoon. That will also feel the chance for a few scattered showers and storms, but a better chance arrives here for tomorrow on your Sunday. We'll see highs in the mid to upper 80s, but we're back to the 90s on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before a big cool down with highs in the upper 70s to near 80 here on Thursday and Friday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
Here's a quick 10-second reminder that the Buckeyes have won the Natty. Also, we air all the games, and we always will. Thank you. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Saturday.
So Tony Petitti and Greg Sankey have to figure out something by December 1st, whether to expand the college football playoff or not. Feels like both sides are stuck in their designs of Sankey with his model, Tony Petitti with his model. And this was the boss of the Big Ten at Big Ten Media Days this past week talking about the idea that if you can't come to an agreement on an expansion arrangement, then it will stay at 12 for the foreseeable future.
It was agreed that the Big Ten and SEC would control changes to the CFP format and the selection committee process after considering feedback from the membership. Like the revenue share parameters, the Big Ten and SEC's format control is set forth clearly in the agreement that all members signed. As we said throughout this process, we are open to considering any format ideas that come from our colleagues or the CFP staff. But to be clear, formats that increase the discretion and role of the CFP selection committee will have a difficult time gaining support from the Big Ten.
So,
riveting.
You had said something great in the break about why I became a fan of college football. And it was growing up going to Ohio State games. And it was the sense of community, the sense of togetherness, the sense of really spectacle of it all that you just wanted to be a part of. And I romanticize so much about college football because of what it's been. And when I hear him give that word salad, I go, well, that isn't what I signed up for as a kid.
That's my, and I was telling you, and it's, we save all the good stuff for the break.
You had such passion in the break, and I'm like, how do I bring that to the air?
This is something that I and a lot of players, somewhat now 15 years out, you wrestle with what this is. And part of me just wants to opt out and be like, I don't care, whatever. They'll figure it out. It's cool. But it does trigger me on some level because it is so wildly different. It's a if you're just watching, the product looks very much the same. But the difference between amateurism and professionalism in college and the NFL is light years. And I've done both, and it's the motivation of why you're doing it, the motivation of what you're playing for. I get why we're here now, but why we do these media days and you listen to the word salad there. And these are very capable. I mean, Tony Petitti's had a lot of big jobs, professional sports. This is not a dumb guy, but it's what is your product for the fans, at least? What is college football product? It's not elite level football. It's just not. Your product is something else. Your product is something that is a feeling.
It is a feeling.
And the more you don't try to engage in that and make sure that stays, the big matchups are what they are. But as far as if you're just looking for elite football, it's not in the NCAA. I mean, there's semi-pro leagues that those teams would beat a lot of these teams. They wouldn't sell out 100,000 seat stadium. So it's you kind of talk around and around, but yes, fans will gravitate towards that. That's great. But what is your product that you're selling? And it's this thing that is very, you have to try to capture it. I think they did find it in a place that I didn't think they were in those playing games like you talked about by having it on campus.
Yeah.
So even
the games themselves were awful.
Awful. But as experiences, they were a peak of college football. And I was downing them before that week. I was like, dude, no, these teams don't have a legit shot. Should the argument was about Indiana big, but was okay, should this many teams have a shot? Okay, well, you can argue that all day long, and they did in the big wigs on ESPN and
sure
CBS, and they'll argue it, and they make that the point. Missing the point was those were Indiana and Notre Dame was one of the coolest games. Okay, yeah, was it close? No, but that never happens. Having those two Indiana schools get to do their tailgate and be on campus. Having the shoe, and it was legit almost half filled with Tennessee fans.
It was such a cool environment.
Unreal, because you've got to play college football on campuses.
Yes, you do. Yes,
I don't care. You can get as many guys on Fiesta Bowl committees, on Sugar Bowl committees. It's not the game it should be on campuses because that's where the magic lives. The magic is on campus. You can take it away, but then you're just doing your impression of a pro sport that it's pretty good product, but I can find teams that would beat that.
Yeah, the idea that Florida, Georgia have to go to Jacksonville to play their game. I know the cocktail party has been in Jacksonville forever, and I think it's one of the great rivalries in the sport, but I think it would be better in Gainesville and in Athens, respectively.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of it, because to me, that's the product.
That's college football.
It's not the skill. These are skilled players, for sure. But that's why when you still had I don't know. There's no point of going back to where we were. I was just explaining that's the lens of that I look at it through. And I wish, even in the changing landscape, more focus would be on what is this thing?
Yeah.
What is this thing? And what is the magic here that makes it so popular? That is the spark that fuels your big TV contracts. Because that spark is interest. And the interest is something more than like, all right, we got to find a way to get Ohio State to play Texas more, and in the SEC schools to play the Big Ten in these big power matchups. Yeah, I get it. If you're an executive, sure, that's your job to make those happen. But from a fan perspective, that interest is just about like semi-silliness sometimes, cool environments, history, and just a feel there that I don't feel is talked about whatsoever.
Yeah, there's a feeling and a romanticism about college football that for me no other sport has. And I think a lot of people in this listening audience feel the exact same way. That's why Buckeye Nation is so strong in so many different places of the world, is because the feeling that those individual fans had with their friends at tailgates or at parties, watching Ohio State growing up with their parents, with their grandparents, and something they've passed down onto their kids. What's going to be passed down with all of this more is asks of the fan base. More games, more travel, longer seasons, more time commitments. For the players especially, sure, they're getting paid, and that's awesome. They should be paid what they're worth. If a company's willing to shell out X for player Y, great. They should have every opportunity to do that. But then you're asking more games out of them. You're asking more travel out of them and their families, some of them that come from nothing and that won't be able to go to all of these more games to see Junior play ball.
Yeah, who's winning in the 5-6 games that you have to play at these big bowl venues? Yeah, they're fun to watch, but there's nothing that you couldn't do those are the ones that I think you would want to see on campus. But you can go you can go back and forth on what your specific solutions are, but yes, it goes more and more towards who's benefiting here. It's not what the fans have asked for.
And it's certainly only a chunk of the roster of any school, because the top end guys like the Jeremiah Smiths, I mean, there's a chasm between what he's making and some of the other guys on this roster.
Yeah, that's another part of the.
You heard it from Mike Loxley this week, where he said he lost his locker room last season because the haves and the have-nots, there was a chasm in his locker room that cost them games in the season, because guys that were making versus guys that weren't were wondering, what the hell's he doing? And what the guys that were making were wondering, like, well, I'm above this. When the idea of college football, right, is supposed to be we're all in this together.
Yeah, like I said, it's a idealist way to look at it. I can't help but look at it that way, because I think if you lose that, I have much less care of what's going on. If you lose that piece of it, all right, you created a semi-pro league.
Yeah,
cool.
I worry
it's just okay.
You lose what drew so much of us to college football.
Well, aside, unless you're just like you
Tony
like
Petitti.
Well, yeah. what drew him is different. That's not what fans are talking about.
I agree with you.
Like this is not what I hear coming out of that. Is not what fans are talking about. Fans are trying to like have their own internal debates with like, wait, what is this? Do I still care about this? No, I think I still do, because I can't just let it go. But this isn't a representation of what I really care about or want.
And why I think it's important is because it will determine how this is going to be presented to you, the fan, over the next 20 years.
Right, but that's why I say when we were talking earlier and you're like, hey, well, Rutgers isn't the same, Indiana isn't the same. They're not. But that's why I think all of the tiers of these teams are important to the whole. So Ohio State's ship rises by keeping and retaining that, because I think that's where the product is. You know, if you just go to like, all right, we're just going to have all the best teams play each other, that seems good. I think you're missing the mark of all the other things that come along with having like a breadth of talent within a league.
Let's talk about actual football on the field. Buckeyes go to defend a national championship, but aren't picked to win the Big Ten in the preseason. Does that matter? In 2 minutes, Sports Saturday on The Fan.
The sun is out and the savings are on at Coughlin Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Take up to $7,000 off MSRP on any new Kia EV in stock, or get up to $3,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing for 60 months. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Largest Kia dealer based on current ground stock at all 4 Coughlin Kia locations. 0% for 60 months equals $1,667 per 1,000 finance. All manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Dealer financing required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 7/31/25.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank. Refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. and refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with speedy rewards and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
We repurpose a lot of the junk we haul away.
Donatables get donated to a family that needs them, and the recyclables get recycled.
And we have enough trucks that we can come the day you call us.
We work to help your neighbors, the planet, and you.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on the Buckeye Show. New special guests in everything scarlet and gray. The Fan. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Eric Reiser, Dane Sanzenbacher with you on this Saturday, the last Saturday in July. Ohio State will start their training camp on Thursday at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. We will be out there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hopefully not annoying them too much with our drivel. Dan, you and I will be out there next Saturday from 10 to 1. Trying to figure out who Ohio State's quarterback is. Well, that's going to be the question up until probably the Thursday.
I can find out.
Before Texas week.
I know people there.
Okay.
You want to find out?
I think you have connections that might give us a little bit better of an answer.
No, would never do that.
Well,
would never burn that bridge. That's the thing.
I would not want you to do it yet. Right?
It just wouldn't. I'm sorry.
I
just need to be up front, and I work here. But that's the trouble. There's a certain.
You care too much about alma mater?
Not about alma mater, about the individuals that are there.
I see.
Kind of alma mater, but I can't lump the school all into one thing. But on a personal level, yeah, I wouldn't pull that.
We
card.
can't do the quarterback thing now because we still need time, right? We got to let this kind of marinate. We need to put eyeballs on those quarterbacks.
And
then make our decision.
We'll know when we see it.
I think a lot of the players will too. But what with you have at Ohio State, you've got all over the country. You got a quarterback, whether it be a transfer quarterback or a guy you recruited. He's going to be making his first start either August 23rd or August 30th. One of those 2 weekends, that's his first time in front of a live crowd, in front of 11 guys that want to knock his head off. And so I'm extremely interested this season because I think this is the first time we're going to get a real sense of, is the transfer portal thing working for some schools? There are a lot of schools that are taking huge gambles on transfer portal persons. You saw Ohio State do it last year. I do think the personnel that you have at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center know how to identify talent. And they got a guy in Will Howard who not only was a really good quarterback, but a great leader. And he could come in and could earn the respect of the players and be that alpha dog to lead them through moments of the season where the bleep hit the fan.
I think that's the important one.
Yeah.
I think that's all really they're trying to sort out. You'll learn a lot through camp. They probably already have a good feeling. Now, I haven't followed it closely and haven't even asked those
Hasn't been
questions.
A whole lot.
But you want to go. At this point, I think it's fair to look at this program and say, whoever you decide on, I trust that decision.
Oh, yeah.
It's well thought out, and there's we've gone through this enough and have a long enough history with Coach Day and these guys making these decisions that it's like, okay, who you go with, I'm for that.
Yeah.
And even it's like Kyle McCord was kind of the one that was felt the most unsexy. It was like because it was like this guy was a backup. This feels weird moving into a starting role.
Yeah.
In hindsight, though, I mean, we were, as Ohio State, we were probably too hard on Kyle McCord.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
And that's the nature of being here.
Yep.
But that was the guy for that team. And so, I think consistently, however the process has gone through camp, through hey, leaving the competition open, we're not going to lock this in. they have a rhythm of how they like to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get this through camp. Let's see who emerges. And I think there's probably a piece of it, too, is you could be pretty sure in the offseason. You have to.
I think you had a pretty sure guess after the spring game. With as much football as they've watched and as many players as they've scouted, that probably came in the spring game. They're like, but also.
Well, I mean, spring and summer.
Let it play out in the fall. You have to, though.
But like then when camp comes, it has a different feeling, and you're going to need to see what the guy, even if you think it's the guy, what he looks like when there's an actual game looming.
Yeah.
How he carries himself in the huddle, how he handles throwing a pick at practice, how he handles criticism. I mean, the coaching staff there is they've remarked before of how they like to see how these guys react. Like, Coach Day is going to be hard on me as a quarterback coach. I'm going to be hard on him. I want to see how they react. Those are things you can't get in the offseason because it doesn't feel real yet. It feels real now. Or in a week, it will feel real. So I think that's what you're looking for. I mean, I think that's what will be to what extent we can see at practice next week.
That part of it as well as Ohio State putting on more of an NFL-style training camp will give a lot, but probably not everything to our eyeballs.
Yeah, very. We'll be doing a lot of the same talking we're doing now in a location,
but outside.
But outside, and we'll be able to see at least a little bit. But that's what I think. That's what I think you're looking for, and that's something I think they've done a great job of identifying. Because I think, I don't know, these past in recent memory. Whether the quarterbacks are first-round draft picks or not, these are guys that were the right call for their given year.
Yeah, there will never not be talent in Ohio State's quarterback room. Like, I do find it funny when we have these conversations about who should the quarterback be. They go, well, these guys are really talented. Like, grass is green, water is wet. Ohio State, under Ryan Day, under Urban Meyer, always had talent in the quarterback room. But the fine line that the two guys in competition have to walk is those little things, like leadership in the huddle, leadership in the locker room, how you respond to a bad play, how you take coaching, how you take criticism, how you apply yourself in the media. Are you a guy that works with other guys after practice on things like they might have issues with? Like, it's all of those little things that will separate at a place like Ohio State. Because I think Lincoln Keenholz is a tremendous athlete. You certainly heard everything for the last 2 years about him. Julian Sane. It was, for me, the fact that they had 5 guys in their quarterback room and they still went to get Julian. Once he popped into the transfer portal, it kind of told me where they thought this future was going to go for the quarterback job. But you got to do it on the field because you can't fool the guys in the locker room. And so I think that's where they're in a really good position right now, Ohio State is, with the 2 guys that they potentially can throw out there against Texas.
I think it's one of the more exciting times for that.
Oh,
I think this is a more anticipatory season. Like, I'm more excited to see that because it's not it was abundantly clear it was going to be Will Howard. I thought last year. It was like, you didn't bring this guy in, you're going to give him his shot. He's going to be your guy, whether you announce it. Like this one, whoever they end up going with, to have a young group of quarterbacks, it also makes me, it hits on a little bit of like, oh, the good old days. To have young guys in there that like, oh man, we could potentially get a dude for 3 years.
Yeah.
We could have a history with players like we used to have. Like you get to know them, you've seen them, like you remember like sophomore year struggle, junior year was much better, and then senior year, oh, that was the year. You remembered guys in their like what era they were of years, and were they sophomore, junior, senior, not like the 1 year transfer in.
And that's
its perks, but
that's a thing looking at the top 10 from the Big Ten in the USA Today's preseason Big Ten football rankings. Penn State's number 1. Drew Aller, quarterback, been there for years. Ohio State, quarterback battle. Oregon Ducks, Dante Moore, guy they got out of the transfer portal. Michigan Wolverines, they got a couple guys out of the transfer portal. They paid $10.5 million for Bryce Underwood, who's a freshman. Illinois, Luke Altmaier has been a guy that did come out of the transfer portal but played last year for Illinois. Nebraska, Dylan Raiola. Good last year, but still questions there. Iowa, they got a Grunkmeyer and a Gronowski out of the transfer portal.
Those are some Iowa quarterback names. I've never heard of either of them.
So
actually, you lost me. Truly, you lost me after the first 2.
Well, I'm just reading those teams, and I'm just trying to, I guess, paint the picture of nobody knows what's going to go on with this. And I think that's what makes it so exciting for me looking forward to this next month where you start to learn a little bit more, but you're not going to have any real idea until Boot meets the ball on August 30th for any of these teams. And there's a lot of ballyhoo about Penn State and the talent that they bring back defensively, offensively. They say they've got the deepest running back room in the country, but James Franklin's still the head coach. I asked you in the break, your confidence that James Franklin can lead a Penn State team, any Penn State team, to the precipice of the sport? Low.
Yeah. I just don't have my expectation there. I don't know, and maybe it's because they've been a very good Big Ten team, but I've never put them probably where they think they ought to be, in like that upper tier of I'm expecting you to make the playoff now and make a run every year. Like if you're saying like last year was a letdown for Penn State, I did not see it that way. That's where Penn State lives for me. Now, it's going to be their job to try to break through that ceiling. They have to they have to get through that. But, I mean, I think, I don't know. Maybe it's just it could be as simple as like, it's just not flashy enough. It's not.
Penn State will never be flashy.
And that's the brand. That's fine. But that's part of the fun of it, too, is like that's where Penn State lives in that.
They've always been
they can disrupt. They can beat any of these teams. They can beat you, whether you're Ohio State or Michigan. So whether they get over the edge.
Can they disrupt enough to do something that they haven't done since the 90s? And Dan Lanning's got to move past the Rose Bowl. All of that coming up next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Master Grillers Unite.
The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated.
Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with a thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
The Columbus Zoo invites you to follow the footsteps and the tales of animals from around the world. Explore our newest region, North America Trek. So what are you waiting for? Get your tail to our trails only at your Columbus Zoo.
And we're back talking all things connectivity with Spectrum customers Kev and Melissa. So tell us, how long have you been with Spectrum and how important is a reliable internet connection?
We've been Spectrum customers since we moved 12 years ago. The first thing we did is sign up for Spectrum Internet.
You get a lease, you get it Wi-Fi.
Yes, we need that. We had Spectrum Wi-Fi before our couch got here.
That's true. That's a true story.
I'll sleep on the floor, but I won't go to bed with no internet.
You heard it here. Switch to Spectrum now.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowes.com/delivery for more details.
The Fan is the official station of summertime. Sipping on a lemonade, the smell of fresh-cut grass in the air and common man playing fart noises on the radio.
Was that a fart?
Summer. The Fan, Ohio's summer destination.
When you walk up and down the stairs, do you feel a crunch in your knees? Or when you lift your arms above your head, you hear a click in your shoulders? Have you tried steroid shots and neither suggested surgery? Before you go under the knife, you should hear me out. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell, and I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without getting more meds and without having to have surgery. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using the treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. Their cellular treatment contains growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. Learn more about something that could be life-changing. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
The Dublin Irish Festival, August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food and fun. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. We firmly believe it's appropriate to tailgate before a youth soccer game. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
So now that we're clear of Media Day season, thank the Lord, you can get into training camps, which start for your Ohio State Buckeyes this coming Thursday. I think Nebraska, they'll start on Monday. And so for many teams in the Big Ten now, we're into football season. I had said at the top of the show that this morning there was a little bit of a crisper feel to the air. And I think a couple of days this week, there has been a little bit of a fall crisp. Now it's, done a hard 180 into fiery depths of hell in the afternoon. I think it's supposed to be close to 93 today. So just make sure you hydrate. I know there was some inclement weather in the area last night, which kind of delayed, I think, the Clippers and the Crew games, respectively, that happened down the street from each other. But this is the time of the year that is so romantic for so many of us that love the sport of college football. And I do think with the insanity that's kind of run amok of college athletics has created, at least in this season, one that we will look forward to even games against UCLA for Ohio State. Whereas earlier, it's like, oh, they're playing that game. Well, I'll have it on, but I'm not going to be like dialed into UCLA week. We will at the Fan because we'll be able to hear the Buckeyes and the Bruins. But I think when you...
It's here, right?
Yes, it will be in Columbus. So a return for Nico Iamalieva to the place where his Tennessee career ended, which is... Brother, if you said the phrase, life comes at you fast.
He didn't play bad.
He was really good. I got a lot of respect for that guy as a football player.
Well, that was a takeaway from that game.
Yes.
It was a throttling, but he was about their only chance.
I put the team on my back because Dylan Sampson, their running back, was somebody that we had keyed on, just in terms of previewing the game, but he didn't really have much of an impact because pretty sure he was injured. And for the Volunteers, it was Nico, and he did a hell of a job. Like, he got up after his helmet got cracked open. Like, that's, for me, what makes it seem kind of sad that he got such bad advice to have to go to UCLA. Because that's a demotion. And obviously it's a pay cut because they ain't paying you $8 million to play for the Bruins, a team that I think won 3 games in the Big Ten maybe last year.
Well, he's also a different era of college athlete, where that is a. It's what's your Jurassic Park line?
I don't. Well, this "hold on to your butts" is the best line, but it's John Hammond wondering, why are these dinosaurs eating me?
Yeah, so that's one of the dinosaurs eating the NCAA.
Who could have done this?
He did not create the system in which you had to look out for yourself, because shoe on the other foot, Nico, big recruit.
Yeah.
Oh, they great.
Everybody wanted him.
Say he was terrible. Say he stunk. You don't think that Tennessee's in the portal the next year replacing him?
No,
They
you're
didn't
absolutely
guarantee him anything. So it's like, I don't take the path of like, hey, he should have stuck it out just for the love of the block T. He didn't owe them anything, like they don't owe him anything, and wouldn't have, or even made a big stink about it. They would have said good riddance if he wasn't what he was billed as. So I just think it's the nature of where the game is, and you built the dinosaurs. They're going to start snapping
you
at
cloned
you.
them. Eventually, they might dinosaur on you.
There's no innocent.
I just do
here.
feel bad for him in that sense, that it feels to me, in listening to him and just from what's been out there about the Nico Malieba Tennessee situation, he just got some bad advice.
Well, how old's young Nico?
Let's say he's 20.
Okay. Well, there's another piece of you'll have that when you have complications of a league and money that is ridiculous.
Oh,
insane money. That is would be hard for any adult to navigate the waters when you're playing these games. And that's another piece of it. Universities. And there's not really a lot of ownership of that. When you're playing these games with guys you're plucking out of high school, it ain't just about like, hey, getting 5-star guys. Like these are kids when they're getting there. So there's a piece of it. There's a little yuck there as well. So I mean, he's an LA kid, right?
Yeah.
So maybe I haven't listened to a lot of his interviews. I know it's been weird. It seemed like he could have been a dude that was like returning Tennessee to glory.
They were picked when he left. When Tennessee season ended, they were picked as they'll be back next year.
Mm-hmm.
Now they are picked as middle of the pack in the conference.
Yeah, so it just, and then he went to UCLA, another mediocre,
a very end of the pack conference.
I guess maybe he's closer to home.
It is a perspective thing that I think should give Ohio State fans some comfort that hasn't happened yet to the Buckeyes. Like where you have Jeremiah Smith this offseason probably got a bunch of offers, and they should try to absolutely poach him if a school can afford him, but that wasn't the case. Next season, when I think he puts up similar numbers, schools are going to try to poach him. It hasn't happened here yet, and I do think that's a great job from a great credit to Ryan Day, especially to Mark Pantoni. It's interesting just the last 8 months how prevalent the college football general manager has become. Like Andrew Luck's running Stanford's football program right now. He picked Frank Reich to be their new head coach. I think it's Ron Rivera's running Cal's football program right now. They've got Devin Brown as their quarterback. But for Ohio State, there hasn't been this kind of attrition. But that also takes, a lot from the team in terms of the roster and keeping the roster together year in and year out, which was never a situation you had to deal with before. Guys were here for their eligibility, then they were gone. If they wanted to go, then they had to sit out a year. And so you always kind of had that hanging over them like, well, now they can just go whenever.
It's the nature of it. I mean, there's nothing, even if it does happen at Ohio State, there's not much you can say or point the finger at. I mean, if the goal, and if you're listening to the guys that are the powers of the conference, we're coming off these all these conference meetings and listening to the guys that are the decision makers. They are very, very clear trying to make this as close to a professional model as they can. Well, any professional model where your quarterback, the face of your franchise, is a free agent the next year, they're shopping. Okay, if they're a free agent every year, they're shopping. Whether that's a receiver, quarterback, that's the reality of pro sports leagues. So that's why I'm like, I don't see a leg that Tennessee has to stand on to say otherwise in that situation.
You're right.
And I wouldn't fault Ohio State if Jeremiah Smith was like, or Jeremiah Smith, if he's like USC came calling and they can pay me this, and I think they have a better quarterback situation next year. I'm entertaining it. Well, you're a free agent, and if everybody's going to treat it as a transaction, and hey, we don't care about your romantic, magical college sports, Eric. All right, we don't care about
your wonderful playoff run that you romanticize
we
about
don't
forever.
Care about that. This is a business. Well, then businesses have rules, and the rules say you're a free agent. You do the best you can, but so I'm just even getting in front of that. I wouldn't have that even as an indictment on a program.
It's an indictment on the system.
Yeah, it's a system thing. This is not about the individuals, I don't think.
For Jeremiah, 1,300 yards receiving, 76 receptions, 15 touchdowns. He also had a rushing touchdown last season. Here's one of your leaders for your Ohio State Buckeyes talking about the accountability and the ownership that's been taken by this team.
What it looked like for me, I feel like last year, that was like a mecca. All the guys who came back, that was their national championship. I feel like this year, this definitely going to be for like me, Sonny, Caleb, Carnell Tate, all the other guys that was young last year. So I feel like that's definitely would be, if we win it this year, it's definitely going to be our.
Program's in a good spot. Should feel very confident, Ohio State fans, going into this season. I got to pay off on the Dan Lanning and the Oregon Tees, and I think the president wants to save college sports. Will that work? We'll discuss next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvus weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, The Fan.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio.
Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
The Dublin Irish Festival, August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food, and fun. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with Speedy Rewards and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Before your road trip, ask yourself, what do I bring? With the new Kia Sportage X Pro's class-leading cargo space, you'll have room for what you need. Visit kia.com or your local Kia dealer today to keep the adventure going. Lease a new 2026 Sportage LX for $259 a month for 24 months with $39.99 due at signing for well-qualified lessees. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. New 2026 Sportage LX 2.5-liter GDI FWD 8AT 30,085 MSRP. MSRP includes destination handling and excludes taxes, title, registration, license fees, options, and retailer charges. No security deposit required. Extra prices set by dealer and may vary. Purchase option at lease end is $23,165.45. Subject to credit approval by Kia Finance. Lessee is responsible for insurance, maintenance, repairs, 20 cents per mile, over 10,000 miles a year excess where in a termination fee of up to $400. Subject to dealer participation. Offers may not be combined except where specified. Must take delivery by 8/4/25. Limited inventory available. Comparisons based on second row legroom and cargo space behind second row seats in the subcompact SUV class according to Kia segmentation as of June 2025.
Newman Roofing is proud to sponsor the Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat fan drive. Help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. Purchase new box fans and take them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station or buy online. For more information, go to lifecarealliance.org.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Nate Booterball. In Cincinnati last night, the Reds beat up on the Rays 7-2. Tyler Stevenson homered and drove in 3 runs to lead the Reds. Nico Martinez struck out 5 in the win, and Zach Littell allowed his league-leading 26th home run in the loss. Game 2 of their series comes your way tonight at 6:40. Ryan Pepio takes the mound for the Rays, squaring off against Andrew Abbott. Catch the action right here on The Fan. The Cleveland Guardians game with the Royals was rained out last night in Kansas City. They'll play a doubleheader today. Game 1 is at 2:40. Gavin Williams pitching for the Guardians, with Game 2 set for 7:15. Tanner Bybee taking the mound. And the NFL, the Bengals and Shamar Stewart finally reached agreement on a 4-year, fully guaranteed $18.7 million deal. And Justin Fields returned to the Jets after an injury scare. And last night, Columbus Crew SC fell to Orlando City 3-1. Breaking sports news when it happens to the Fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
No, you got an hour. Eric Reiser, Dane Sanzenbacher, you heard Nate there in the update. For whatever that's worth, we will step aside at 1 o'clock. Timmy Hall is going to bring you Buckeye Replay. Ohio State and Oregon from the 2015 national title tilt. I was trying to figure out at the beginning of the program why at like 10:30 last night I could hear fireworks downtown. Because, again, as you heard Nate in the update, the Crew lost. They lost at Lower.com Field. You wouldn't do fireworks for that. The Columbus Clippers were playing a game against Buffalo, but at like 10 o'clock, they were still in like the 7th inning maybe. They would go on to lose last night's game, 10-3. They're back at it tonight with fireworks at 7:05. So Saturday's fireworks from that part of the city are going to be from Huntington Park. So just a heads up there, if that's something you're interested in. Like, why is that popping off?
Oh, I thought you were going to have an update on what it was at 10:30.
I am.
Still, okay.
I was getting to it. Yeah.
But it seemed like a pause. Dane, interject here, and I don't have the inside info you have, so I'm on the edge of my seat.
I'm trying to let people know, and I don't necessarily, this is an update, but Michael in the YouTube chat earlier in the program said, last night's Picnic with the Pops had the Ohio State Marching Band, and that finished with fireworks. So Friday night at 10:30, Picnic with the Pops at the Columbus Commons.
Okay, so we think that was it. We're trusting?
I'm trusting Michael because he said it with such confidence in the YouTube chat. He has confidence font on. So I read that as he knows.
Oh, okay.
I think the Columbus Symphony, because they do the Picnic with the Pops every summer, I think Rick Ross is going to be joining them. Be a hell of a show. Yes.
I have too many questions with just that in general that it'll be a...
Maybe we'll answer some of those later in the show. But speaking of Miami, Lionel Messi is the biggest soccer player in the world. It's a short list. He no-showed the MLS All-Star game earlier this week, which I forgot was happening until I think I read a tweet that says the MLS All-Star game is beginning. And I think it was done tongue-in-cheek because they didn't do a job of promoting it really well. Major League Soccer and its teams do some questionable media things. And this was one of them. And they told fans like at the last minute that Messi was just not going to show up to the All-Star game, despite being voted by fans and players and coaches an All-Star, because he is. Didn't show. And so a Major League Soccer rule is if a player no-shows the All-Star game, he is suspended for his club's next contest. So there was talk that, are you really going to suspend Lionel Messi for a game against FC Cincinnati? Now, FC Cincinnati is the top of the table. They're one of the best teams in the league. Inter Miami has Messi, so they're always going to be great. And that's always going to be a ticket that everybody wants to see. And Don Garber, on Thursday, it was reported that they weren't going to suspend him at all. Like, nope, you're good. You're fine.
We didn't notice. Yeah,
he wasn't there? Could have sworn.
No, he was there.
He was not on the pitch. He was off pitch, hanging around, kissing babies, shaking hands, doing the best job he could as an ambassador for the league. Well, he's suspended for today's game against FC Cincinnati. They came out late last night with that rendering.
And rule followers, a bunch of Boy Scouts.
I did think that he would be the lone wolf in this, where, yes, these rules apply to all of you, but not to Lionel Messi. And I think it's Jorge Mas, who is one of the owners of FC Cincinnati, says that Messi's so mad about this decision. He had a press conference yesterday about it, saying Lionel Messi is very upset, like we all are in the club, with the fact that he won't be able to play tomorrow night. But I think what we have to do as a club is get together as one, have an attitude that is us against the world. I love it when professional athletes have the it's us against everybody else mentality. Because I don't know if that, nobody's doubting you, professional athlete. Like,
No, you're a pro. Not exactly.
I'm not doubting. I'm
you're not
expecting you to
exactly-
go be great. And when you're not great, I'm critical of.
Yeah, and fairly critical.
Sometimes, sometimes not. But I just thought that was really interesting because while the Crew have been really, really, really good this season, while MLS has been really competitive, they just do such a stinky job of promoting the game. And I know people are going to come at me and say, well, you trashing how they're promoting is also bad for the game. And I would tell MLS, do a better job. Don't promote Lionel Messi if you think there's even an inkling he won't show. But then people will buy tickets to the event. That's the bed you got in when you brought Messi over. Kind of messy.
have they? Yeah, it does sound a little messy. Yeah, they could do a barge. They could always think about just doing a barge on Lake Erie and unveiling something. Seems like a sweet marketing ploy.
Do you think they should have? I'm just trying to think what they would unveil. Like have the All-Star team on a barge on Lake Erie?
Him. Yeah,
Messi?
Yeah,
Just by himself?
Yeah, under a blanket.
I think you got to bring some people with him.
Like just one human under the just standing.
Just
there.
Messi?
Yeah, you're like that's a person under there. Who's it going to be?
He wouldn't agree to that. Maybe if you didn't like the.
He agreed to play in the MLS.
He did. They gave him a bunch of money. Maybe if you do it in Miami, like do it in the ocean out there.
Okay, yeah.
Would be more, and then you just unveil him. Ah!
I just can't let the Browns go. I know.
I just
have to bring him
you're
back.
Fixated
well,
on
because it's like I naturally was like, you're being unfair to the MLS when the Browns do silly things marketing.
Oh, I'm always I bash the Browns routinely.
Yeah, I know.
I'm doing it as an.
Dang it! I said I was going to let it go. I'll let it go.
Right now,
You're
I'm doing it as an avoidance tactic.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the Cleveland Browns because every time I do, it just makes me upset.
Yeah.
And I do think there are Browns fans out there that always try to be optimistic with this team. I can't get there with you. I want it to. I wanted to for so long with Baker Mayfield, with Kevin Stefanski, 2-time NFL Coach of the Year, with Andrew Berry, but none of it's worked. And now Baker Mayfield's talking about how much he loves Emeka Egbuka and how they're talking about extending Baker to be their franchise quarterback for the next 5 years. He's already a $100 million man and lots of love down in Tampa Bay. Not so much.
Well, sorry for roping you back into there.
I don't think
MLS,
you are. I don't think
no
you're sorry.
Lionel, no Messi. I hope the All-Star game went on without a hitch.
They beat All-Stars from Liga MX 3-1. So that happened. The Columbus Crew are back at Lower.com Field. I think it's Tuesday. They're starting Leagues Cup play, taking on a team from Liga MX, Toluca. That'll be 7:30 at Lower.com Field. Columbus Crew defending Leagues Cup champions. So you have that to look forward to, which, of course, is always nice. Not so nice as the federal government trying to step in and fix something. I am a cynical person. I don't think the federal government does federal governing very well. So I don't trust them ever at all when they say they're going to fix something. They usually don't. I don't think the people, a great many people that work in our federal government, at least elected officials, don't do their jobs well in terms of serving the people that they are elected to serve. Again, cynical, fine. So when they propose legislation or they go to the president, they say, you got to fix this. You got to give the power back to the NCAA and its institutions. You got to protect them from antitrust legislation. I say, good luck with that. Well, the president on Thursday signed an executive order related to college athletics titled Saving College Sports. And all it really does is instruct people to do things. It doesn't tell anybody that they have to do anything. It says, well, let's, protect scholarships for non-revenue sports, which is great, but I don't think that'll hold up in court. They want to prohibit third-party pay for play, which will not hold up in court because the NCAA, even as early, as like in March, said that they're not going to go after schools that pay high schoolers to come to their school. The NCAA said, yeah, we're not going to enforce that. But you shouldn't, but we won't enforce that. Athlete employment. Trump, the president, is going to direct the Secretary of Labor and the National Labor Relations Board to clarify the status of college athletes. Clarify the amateurs? The National Labor Relations Board is going to clarify the amateur athletes? Oh. Make that make sense. Limited liability protection. They're going to protect the NCAA and its member institutions from antitrust lawsuits. Something that you'll know famously was the House versus NCAA case, which is now settled to the tune of $2.8 billion and creating what looks like more issues.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, it seems like a lot of A lot of the same. It's all the same. It's a shame it's going to come down to just legal battles. But that is really the domino that started all of it. It's just any of this, like you said, even just reading through this briefly is they're fine suggestions. We're still a ways from a meaningful action solution. Like it would have to go through so many different layers, those layers being Congress, the courts, to have any help there. I think we're stuck with the college sports we have for at least the foreseeable future.
Dan Lanning's not stuck with the team he had last year, although I'm sure he wishes he would have had some of those players back. For the Oregon Ducks, it was a 13-0 perfect record. They won the Big Ten championship. They got a first-round bye in the college football playoff. Hey, that's great. Then they got waxed in the Rose Bowl by the future national champions, Ohio State. Here's Oregon's head coach on getting over that and moving past that into 2025.
For me as a coach, I've always, I think every coach probably feels this way, but we always remember the losses over the wins. I think there's a lot you can learn from that. It doesn't take away from what we were able to accomplish, but we lost to a great team. You know, Coach Day did an unbelievable job last year of having his team in position to have success there, and there's some things that I feel like I could have done better there at the end. We didn't play, I don't think we played our best football. That being said, we did go undefeated in the conference. We won the Big Ten championship in our first year. So, like I said, double down, learn, focus on our process. What do we have to continue to improve? There's always learning lessons, but it doesn't necessarily impact the future.
When you hear him talk about that, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know how else.
There's kind of no other way to go.
There's no other way. That's going to be your stock. I could have given you that as the coach answer, which you kind of have to.
Yeah, you do.
Regardless of you're like, hey, the system was what it was. It was set beforehand. We can look back at it and say, hey, there wasn't a huge advantage for how good of a regular season that Oregon had to get a bye week and then never get to even play the home game. And not to go back to that, but like it's a lot harder for Ohio State to have to go back and win at Oregon than meeting them at the Rose Bowl, essentially a neutral site, for somebody who should have had the home field advantage technically in Oregon.
You'd think they might have earned it.
Yeah, so I mean, there's some gripes there. Were they the better team? I don't think so. I mean, I think that Ohio State could have won the game at Oregon. I think Oregon won the games they needed to. But if you're saying did it play out correctly, yeah, I think Ohio State was a better team.
I do think back in October, you walked away from that game in Eugene not thinking that Oregon was that much better than Ohio State, right? You got the sense that there was a couple of things at the very end that didn't go your way. And in a top 5 matchup like that on the road at night?
Well, and throughout. I mean, that was a turning point for the defense. Like, there were some things that didn't happen all year that happened in that game. The amount of points they gave up and just scheming things. But you took away that, hey, that's one, really cool matchup. 2, really hard place to win. Like, that was across the board. That's a hard place to go and play. But yeah, I mean, I think Dan Lanning, they're definitely in a spot where that's the way you want to enter the Big Ten. Yeah, you won the Big Ten. You didn't go win a national championship, but I think they've clearly established themselves at the top of an 18-team conference that is arguably the best in college football. I think they're in a good spot.
They're in, I think, outside of Ohio State, probably the best spot going into the season with the overall health of that program. The schedule sets up for Oregon really nice as well. Dan's also got a good idea for college football. You will hear from him and Ross Bjork coming up next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
You found the one, now find the ring. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. On July 25th and 26th, Wedding Weekend is back with event-exclusive pricing for 2 days only. Celebrate with buy one, get one half off wedding bands, 20% off diamond anniversary bands, and 10% off handcrafted custom bridal. It's the perfect time to upgrade, personalize, or say yes for the first time. Join us July 25th and 26th on Selma Road or at Easton Town Center.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
Jerry, I've made a decision.
Aaron, are you giving away free services again?
Well, yeah. How did you know?
I haven't been able to quit thinking about your AC piggy bank.
Get Eco.
ECO. We work to extend the life of their old air conditioner and then give back all the money we were paid to do it.
Up to $1,500.
When they need to buy a new system.
Jerry, I'm getting ready to do something like that again.
Get Eco.
ECO.
When we replace a water heater, I'm instructing all the Eco plumbers to give our customers up to $500 in free repairs before they leave the house.
$500 in free services that same day?
There's lots and lots and lots of things our plumbers can do for $500 or less.
And Eco is going to do these things for free when people buy a water heater?
Yeah, whatever they want for free.
That same day?
Same day.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Go to geteco.com.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with Speedy Rewards and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Breaking news. This is a promo for an actual football game. It's time for the Hall of Fame game.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Catch the Lions and Chargers live from Canton Thursday, July 31st on your home of the NFL, The Fan.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Save big money on your roofing project at Menards with Owens Corning Shingles. Your roof is the first line of defense against the elements and enhances the appearance of your home's exterior. Owens Corning Duration Shingles offer ultimate protection and impressive curb appeal. Choose from 24 colors of Owens Corning Duration Shingles on sale now at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
When I started in the window business probably 40 years ago, as the industry grew, I started to realize that everything was wrong. So when I finally decided to start my own company, there were a number of reasons. One of those was I knew I could build a better window. I could take care of my customers. I could service them better. I could make sure that they got what they paid for.
Visit Rosati Windows and get 35% off all windows and doors by July 31st.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Aaron White here with your 10 weather impact forecast. Heat and humidity stick around here for the weekend. Highs around 94 today, but it will feel like it's in the mid to upper 90s here this afternoon. That will also feel the chance for a few scattered showers and storms, but a better chance arrives here for tomorrow on your Sunday. We'll see highs in the mid to upper 80s, but we're back to the 90s on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before a big cool down with highs in the upper 70s to near 80 here on Thursday and Friday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
Buckeye games have been airing on WBNS since before you were born and before your parents were born and before Abraham Lincoln was born. Trust me. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
All right, a couple things from the Department of Corrections. And I want to thank everybody for listening to us, everybody interacting in the YouTube chat. Eric Reiser, Dane Sanzenbacher here with you until 1 o'clock. Then Ohio State, Oregon, the 2015 National Championship game will be your Buckeye replay. Timmy Hall will have that for you again at the top of the hour. Get Pumped 87 in the chat says last night's fireworks were from Picnic with the Pops. The Ohio State marching band was playing. So he confirmed an earlier report that in fact was the case. He says there will also be fireworks tonight at roughly the same time. So expect plenty of fireworks downtown in the Arena District and at the Columbus Commons as the Clippers, when they host the Buffalo Bisons, are going to be doing a post-game fireworks show. He also adds Rick Ross was several weeks ago with the Columbus Symphony Orchestra. So if you're interested when I said it, unfortunately you have missed it. So maybe next year, because they do it every year, it feels like. They do their Ohio State, I think they do a movie, maybe 2 movies, and they do like the themes from those movies. And then they bring out like an artist or two that you wouldn't think would go well with a symphony, but in fact does. You also have the Ohio State Fair to look forward to, which is going on today. But if you go, like, hydrate with water. You know, getting a lemon shake up and thinking that's going to do you in 95-degree heat won't.
It sounds good. I don't know what a lemon shake up is. It sounds
delicious. I think it's just lemonade.
Yeah, that'll do. There's water in there.
Sure, but actually get water. I'm going to tell this to you next week, too, when we're out at Ohio State's camp. If it's anything like it is today, water.
Water makes you weak. Water's for washing blood off those jerseys.
You're not getting blood on my uniform, are you? I don't even remember what I teased now.
It was Dan Lanning and his ideas for college football.
Yeah, Oregon's head coach appeared on Fox Sports 1's First Things First and had this to say about college football season.
You know, I think we're in a unique spot in college sports where we're actually trying to juggle keeping bowl games alive and going to a playoff. And the reality in my mind is every other playoff system that exists, when the season's over, next week's the bye, the next week after that's the next game. So I would love that model. I'd love for college football to end a little bit sooner. But those are all excuses. We had an opportunity to go out there and perform on the field. We didn't. But ultimately, I feel like everybody's been doing playoffs for a long time, and all of a sudden college football is trying to figure it out. And it's like really simple. You know, we used to make brackets in dodgeball when I was a PE teacher. You just do it right then and go play the games. So that's what I hope we'll get to at some point in college football. But I think, you know, there's a lot of pieces that control that.
Yeah, the idea that your college football season is going to end this year on January 19th when they play the title tilt at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. January 25th in 2027, they'll be out in Vegas. That's the last day of the college football season. And for January 19th to be the last day in 2026, or 2025, excuse me, when you're going to start on August 30th, not great. Not great for everybody, except for the TV people.
Well, that's who. We live in, it's their world.
Dan Lanning for college football commissioner. Because Joel Klatt had a similar take about starting it earlier and then ending on New Year's Day, ending it at the Rose Bowl. Sorry, Hard Rock Stadium, Allegiant Stadium, Caesars Superdome, Raymond James Stadium, Hard Rock Stadium again. Actually, I'm not sorry to any of you. Go bleep yourselves. Do it on campus, at campus sites, and things at the Rose Bowl.
It seems like if you were going to not take into account any other financial considerations and contracts, whatever it is, it doesn't seem that. Start it earlier. If you want to have a playoff, great. Do it as home field advantage. Go and travel to those stadiums, play it, and have every year, January 1st, Rose Bowl is your Super Bowl.
For Oregon being the number 1 team in the country, unblemished in the regular season and Big Ten champions, to not have a game in Eugene felt pretty bad.
Yeah, should have. Especially, and you didn't know because we hadn't seen it, but knowing now what that game, I think, did for Ohio State in springboarding, you could see as Oregon not getting another chance to play at home in the playoff. I'm not saying Ohio State wouldn't have gone in there and won, but that's a tougher place. So, if you're trying to build this perfect system, that makes more sense. But I don't think we've spent the last months or years talking about things like, oh, this makes sense.
This makes sense.
This is what we want. Just take a poll. It's, I don't know. We just have to watch it slowly degrade, it feels like.
And you can see as far out to 2030, the national championship game, January 21st, 2030. But for the next 5 years, it's under the idea that we're in a 12-team format. Probably not going to be the case. So when you add the 16-teamer or you add those play-in games on championship weekend, just how much, when do we get to a point where, like, this is too much? Can we get to that point now?
Yeah, Coach Lanning he mentioned, you're trying to fit in a playoff and a bowl system. And I don't think they can both exist, right? That's what they've been trying to do. But that leads to one, you're traveling to 4 different bowl games. Dude, the nature of a bowl game was like the crowning achievement of the season.
That's what you worked for.
You played one. Yeah. You can't play 4 bowl games. I mean, you can. We did, but you can't play 4 bowl games.
I'll tell you when it's too much. When Eli Drinkwitz suggests a 30-game team playoff. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I
38 team.
30
so
team.
He pitched what would have been a 30-teamer. I think he did clarify his comments that he, in fact, before Tony Petitti took the mic, he was really trying to pitch for the play-in games on conference championship weekend. He just did a poor job of it when he was at the podium. It was a really bad job because then people were like, Eli Drinkwitz, what's he drinking? He wants 30 people in the playoff. And no, because we might get to that in 15 years, a 30-team playoff. They're going to expand the NCAA basketball tournament. So when I ask you when is enough, no. But I do think he was, and this had been floated like in April that they wanted to do play-in games during conference championship weekend where you have 1v2 in the title tilt, and then you have like 2 or 3v4, 5v6. So you get more opportunities for teams like the Michigan States, like the Illinois, who wouldn't get at-large bids to kind of earn their way into the playoff.
Yeah. I mean, if we're living in a world where we can, reimagine what the system is, which is everybody wants to have a hand in like having an opinion. And it seems like even coaches who are as close as they can be to it, we're like, I would like to see that. So I think any idea is not off the table.
Oh, we're throwing everything at the wall.
But I think, you can't, like, the bowl system just doesn't work in a playoff system, at least for the group that has aspirations of their goal at the beginning of every year is make the playoff and make a run at a national championship. So that's like, top half of the Big Ten, maybe even half the SEC. I don't know where the expectation is. But from there, like, there's no point of a bowl game. You're just going to have guys opting out. You're going to play a bowl game like since the beginning of time, I guess. Now, through a 2025 lens, bowl games are relatively pointless money grabs. Like, you're playing them, I guess. What did they do? They weren't the national championship, and it was just like you got bowl gifts, but it was for the players. I don't know. It was an extra game. You got to go on vacation. If you don't have that, it doesn't really fit if you want this bracketed model.
Yeah. I mean, you have the two. I was trying to remember which bowl game that Ohio made when they won the Mid-American Conference, the Cure Bowl. I watched that, and I watched the Pop-Tart Bowl. But the rest of them, no thanks.
Well, because they were fun ways to get like a matchup you didn't see.
Well, it goes back to our conversation about the love for the spectacle that is, or the love for the nonsense of college football, right? The Pop-Tart Bowl brought their mascot was a toaster pastry. They put him in a toaster, and then they ate him at the end.
Yeah, so I think they should have played that between every speaker at the Big Ten Conference. Like, before Tony Petitti got up and took this way too seriously, hey guys, hold on real quick. Give me the Pop-Tart clip. Yeah, put the Pop-Tart. This is where we're at. And we actually really like this, Tony, so don't screw this up. Whatever you do, I want the Pop-Tart guy, then I want him eating the Pop-Tart.
Tony Petitti eat the Pop-Tart?
Well, no. I'm just saying, like, this is talking to him. It's like, there has to be a balance here.
I've got a really terrible idea, but I think you'll be entertained by it. I'll explain in 2 minutes. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. TNCs apply. Available in app only.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
The Dublin Irish Festival, August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food and fun. Get your tickets at DublinIrishFestival.org.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No? The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
If you want to sell out all the way. Tony, if you want all this inventory, all these extra games, all these extra sponsorships, every time you go in front of a mic, you better have a Wendy's logo on that shirt. In fact, whatever company wants to pay the most, they dictate what you wear to your press conferences. If you want to have money from Pop-Tarts, then you better be eating Pop-Tarts every time you are on stage. You better tell them how much you love those Pop-Tarts. Same with Ross Bjork. You want to put advertisements on the jerseys? Guess what? You, Ryan Day, everybody affiliated with Ohio State football, you better be wearing quarter zips with that big Raising Cane's logo on it, and you will like it. You better be eating Pop-Tarts on the sidelines, Cheez-Its on the sidelines, Frosties post-game, and you will like them.
I think I think leaning way in is...
You make the players do all this, guess what?
Yeah, if we're going across the country to play this game, yeah, I like this punishing the people that...
no, not punishing. It's just equal opportunity.
Yeah.
Everybody gets to share in the commercialism of this.
By controlling what they eat. Yeah, it started with I just wanted to remind Tony, like, this is the Pop-Tart Bowl. This is our baseline.
Yeah.
But yeah, it turned into making him eat Pop-Tarts.
Well, how else would we know if he truly enjoyed Pop-Tarts? Now, do I want to see the commissioner of a major conference eat a mascot? Yes. Yes, I absolutely do. And I understand that's childish, but that's what I am. And I'm 35 years old. I'm not changing anytime soon. I'm not changing. Like, I am fully formed individual.
I don't know what the answer is, but you need to find a way to save the things that are like the Pop-Tart Bowl. The Pop-Tart Bowls of the world need to live on. And it's going to get lost in a playoff system that is taking itself way too seriously.
In all seriousness, I think that's what they realized they needed to do to sell these bowl games, is you needed to bring out, like the Outback Bowl has Bloomin' Onion and Jumbo Shrimp mascots that they cut to every couple of minutes. The Pop-Tart Bowl has the mascot that at the end of it gets sacrificed to the football players of the winning team. The Cheez-It Bowl, guy gets Cheez-Its dumped on him. The Duke's Mayo Bowl, Mayo gets dumped on him. I forget which head coach it was. It might have been Eli Drinkwitz that almost got concussed by a vat of mayo because it was just too big and too gloppy to like dump. So they had to like water it down. So the next year they could dump it because it's just mayo. So it flows very slowly and it's heavy if you put it in a Gatorade jug.
How do we feel about the Snoop Dogg Bowl?
You better smoke a blunt with Snoop Dogg. Right after the game on the field. It's legal in most states.
It's legal in most states. Tony needs to be out there and do the interview with Snoop. We'll sit down.
Puff, give, Tony.
It might actually help the situation. I think you probably get a better product with a little buzz, Tony Petiti.
It's fine.
I don't know. Maybe he's a square. Maybe he's maybe he's more Snoop than
Or
we
maybe
know.
he just takes a big hit and he keeps on going.
And he's like, I got an idea.
I'm good.
I want to see what comes out of that because it'll probably make as much sense as, fighting about number of playoff games and taking it very, very seriously.
No, nothing he said this week at Big Ten Media Days was of any real substance to me, but the fact that he sent the NCAA a letter asking for no further punishment to Michigan. That was the only thing of substance I got from that, and I said, that's actually important.
Let it go, Eric.
Good luck telling that to the Ohio State fan base that has not let it go.
Just let it go.
I just think it's interesting.
No, I'm kidding. It's one of my favorite things. I wish it would never die, but it's very clear we're the only ones that care.
It needs to die. You just need to beat Michigan on the field. Like, if there was ever a year to hang 100 on them, let's do that this year, and let's be the football Ferrari that you were designed to be, not try to be these tough guys running into the teeth of 2 first-round defensive linemen. Michigan is going to have talent. They always have talent. Grass is green, water is wet. If that quarterback situation with Bryce Underwood works out, Michigan could be much more improved than they were last year. And last year they had a ton of talent. And they beat Ohio State. And they inexplicably, but you have to beat Michigan this year. And it all can go away.
Or you don't. What? Or you don't have to.
Blasphemous.
That's what Tony said, they don't have to.
Well, they don't have to punish Michigan.
No, I know. But all the setting makes it less consequence. My goal for that is I don't want anybody to be maced after the game this year.
I think that's a very good goal.
That's my main goal is that, because I think that's a little bit too much.
Let's not get maced.
I'm going to go way on a limb as like it's a little too serious. Like, we can have friendly rivalries. Let's just, we'll pat on the butt. Good game, and we'll see you later.
So with the Tony Petitti thing, sending the letter, do you think that was more about protecting Michigan or protecting Big Noon Sunday?
It was protecting the inventory. Yeah, it's protecting Michigan from further punishment that would make future games less appealing. Like, if you kick Michigan down the Spartan hole and their program goes to die, like it did with Brady Hoke and like it did with Rich Rodriguez, and nobody's interested nationally in Michigan football, then you have to go back and be like, well, what's Ohio State doing this week? Because it's the only thing of interest we can put on Big Noon.
Well, that's but even from Ohio State perspective, don't you kind of, if you hate Big Noon games that much, don't you kind of want Michigan to climb back up into relevance and take that slot a little bit?
So that's an argument. You made it. I hate Michigan. I want them to burn. I think so.
You need a more healthy relationship
in 2026.
with Michigan, sir. You're going to get maced. That's mace type talk.
In 2026, Michigan's going to play Western Michigan in Germany. They've already floated that out there. It's going to be a home game for the Wolverines. I think they should just stay. Be the Michigan Wolverines in Germany and just be there.
Well, then, okay.
Could you imagine the audacity for Ohio State to do something like that? To give up a home game at the Horseshoe to play in a different country? Like, I am understanding that now everything's for sale, as we just talked about, right? Smoking a blunt with Snoop Dogg because Snoop Dogg paid for the bowl game. But I would be very disappointed if Ohio State said, yeah, we're going to sell a home game to some company overseas so the Buckeyes can go play an international game. Don't do that to the fans.
Say, we're along for the ride.
That's such a shame that they would think that you need the money, but I beseech you, decision makers who I just said needed to eat Pop-Tarts and Cheez-Its and smoke blunts with Snoop Dogg, don't do that to the Buckeyes. Don't do that to the fans.
I don't know. Sometimes those games are cool. I played an international game in London. Yeah, it's not really for. I didn't actually know they were doing that, and I don't see the real perk for Michigan. What you get out of that? Maybe it's good. I think for a TV audience, it's cool.
I'm trying to think. Like the Deutsche Bank, I think, is the stadium they're playing at. So I do think it's that bank's reached out and said, "Would you like some money?" And they said, "We love money. We need more of it. Please pay us." And that's what they're doing. It's a money grab, and that's what.
So even circling back to the Michigan, yeah, there's not a big incentive for.
Not for Tony, right?
But, so, yeah, I would send that letter if I was him. If I had, 18 bosses and there were 17 of them were like, we got bigger fish to fry. Let's just move on from that. And they're going to make money for the rest of us. Okay, let's move on.
It's also, I think, telling that when Michigan beat Washington for the national championship, Charlie Baker came out and said he believed they won that game fair and square on the field. that told me and anybody else I think that was listening at the time that, yeah, they have no interest in really punishing Michigan. They have whatever sanctions were imposed on Jim Harbaugh and some other members of his staff that are no longer there. Sharon Moore is going to miss 2 games of little consequences this upcoming season. He'll be suspended. Maybe a fine will come down in the next couple of weeks.
Well, we know what happened, though. That's the thing.
It's always going to be an asterisk on that era of Michigan football.
Yep. People don't forget.
No. It does feel, it feels a little hollow, I'll be honest. Like, it feels like the audacity behind what they did, where one week you had Connor Stallions in Jim Harbaugh's ear on the sidelines, a random video guy in the head coach's ear on the sidelines. And then the next week, he was in a different school's gear at a different school, just being a weirdo on the sidelines.
What makes it hurt the most is that they're always going to be of the opinion they did nothing wrong because they're not going to get punished.
That I'm less worried about because nothing will change their mind. Nothing. The Michigan man lives in a reality separate from ours.
Yeah, but punishment's not going to change that. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not worried about them. They can fall down that hole with their program if they want to. But I would like more. And again, if you're even going to talk about enforcement at any level, what's worse than the integrity of the actual game on the field, which has been jeopardized, which was jeopardized by the sign stealing scandal? So you're just not going to enforce anything now? Fine. Let's do the damn Wild Wild West.
Yeah, criminals used to believe in something in this town.
Let's get Batman on this. I love this. Then the Michigan man, of course, pops in, still crying, so sad. Oh, because nothing was done wrong. So, yeah, clearly I'm just making a big deal of nothing. All right?
You are.
Fine. Beat him on the field.
Listen, you're playing into the Michigan man's hand. He wants you to care. He knows deep down. At the end of the day, if you had to go through it's kind of like a losery thing to do. It's really a nerdy thing to do. Like, you went through all that to steal signs. Like, it's very uncool. And so if they want to be uncool, we'll just be cool.
No, it's sad that they had to because they recruited really well with Jim Harbaugh.
You wore a disguise. You were like trying to steal signs. Like, grow up, Greg. It's just soccer. It's like, dude, let them wear that. I think we've exhausted ourselves on it.
Again, then just beat them on the field, and it all can go away. The passing of an icon. What could that mean for another iconic American brand? That's next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's the summer event at Germain Honda of Dublin, and Rich has deals that are red hot. Lease the rugged 25 Honda Ridgeline Sport for only $339 a month, or finance with an unbeatable 0.99% APR. Or you can take on any road in the all-new 25 Honda Passport RTL. Lease it now for $449 a month or 3.99% APR. Summer's here. Dive into the savings at Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for details.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger, and you can get started now by saving when you join today. We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need, and you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Offer ends July 31st.
See Home Club for details.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowes.com/delivery for more details.
The savings are on at Coughlin Ford. Lease a new 25 Ford Escape or Bronco Sport. Just $399 a month with 0 down. New 25 F-150 or Lightning Flash. Only $499 a month with 0 down. At all 4 Coughlin Ford locations, including our newest in Marysville. Visit CoughlinFord.com.
48-month lease. All factory rebates to dealer. All prior sales excluded. In-stock units only. 7,500 miles per year. 25 cents per mile over. Excludes $250 dock fee. $395 disposition fee at lease end. No security deposit. See dealer for details. Ends 9/2/25.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
At United Dairy Farmers, peach is our most popular ice cream. And once you taste it, you'll know why. Right now, get 2 48-ounce cartons of UDF peach ice cream for $10. It's only here for a short time. UDF peach ice cream, made for you.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, you are, but only for a few more minutes. We'll step aside at 1 o'clock. Ohio State and Oregon will come your way from the 2015 College Football Playoff National Championship. Buckeye Replay has the Bucks and the Ducks in 2015. Timmy Hall will be the master of ceremonies for that game. Again, coming up at the top of the hour. This was a rough week in terms of celebrities that left us. We had the news Monday that Malcolm Jamal Warner, who's Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, lost his life over the weekend. He drowned in Costa Rica. And then Ozzy Osbourne passed away Tuesday at the age of 76. Hulk Hogan died Thursday at the age of 71. It was reported a cardiac arrest. They say those things kind of come in threes, but, I mean, those are icons. Those are icons of multiple generations that everybody, almost everybody on the planet knew. Now, this from Hulk Hogan's passing that I read in the Takeout, that Hogan, he had been active recently going on tour to promote his Real American beer. Like, I remember seeing stuff at Giant Eagle about that beer, and it feels like it's everywhere. Like, Walmart's got it. Hooters, I don't know if you still know of any Hooters around Columbus.
No, not at all.
We had, a couple weeks ago, a guy email Bishop and Friends asking because he was taking his family from Chicago to Cincinnati if we knew of any really good burger joints in the Cincinnati area. And I don't, but I suggested if you're taking, a family to Cincinnati, and this all makes sense in a sec, take them to
Skyline?
No. There's the steakhouse
Hooters.
No, it's the rib place on the river, Montgomery Inn. Take them to Montgomery Inn. It's a good, clean family environment. I don't know about the cheeseburgers, but all their other food that I've had there is great. They've also got Refrigerator Perry's jockstrap. Bo, I think, suggested Jeff Ruby's, the steakhouse, which I don't know if you take, you get a family of 4 and you're going on vacation. That's definitely treat yourself. But Baker suggested Hooters in Mason.
Okay.
So thought that was a really interesting thing where he's got 2 kind of younger sons, and they just go to Mason, Ohio, which is somewhat north of actual Cincinnati, to go to a Hooters. So at least there's a couple
burgers.
For a burger.
Okay.
There's at least a couple in the state. Now, I didn't know this, but that restaurant chain had filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in March of 2025. The Real American Beer, the company and that does the beer, was co-founded by Hulk Hogan. So he's got an ownership stake of it. And Hooters was the first restaurant to actually serve Real American Beer to their customers. And there was reportedly an agreement that Real American Beer would take over Hooters and take over the brand. But now that is reportedly, and this is from the Takeout, that deal is in limbo. Real American Beer was already working with Hooters as the chain was among the first restaurants to serve it to its customers. Federal liquor laws outlaw alcohol companies from owning restaurants. Real American Beer would have had to create a sister company that doesn't have anything to do with brewing or distributing beer. But Real American Beer had planned to completely revamp Hooters' business model to appeal to a younger generation. So it felt like you were going to get a revamped Hooters. Which, boy, did I take you on a trip there in that segment, huh?
You did, and I'm trying to weigh, are you sad to see that this might not come to fruition, a younger, more appealing Hooters?
I was fascinated by that when I was writing it up this morning to where I just said it on the radio. I'm like, that's a wild tale I just told.
It is a tale. He was in town this past season.
I think promoting Real American Beer, Giant Eagle.
Yeah. So Timmy Hall and I did we would help host the tailgate there on Lane Avenue
at the O.
Yeah. So we were told that in between one of our little takes up there, they're like, "Hey, Hulkster's coming. He wants to do," and we're like, "Huh? Why is Hulk Hogan even in town?"
Okay, I was hoping it wasn't a who.
No, it was we're like, wait, why? What is going on? We're like, all right, I guess we're opening for Hulk. So we did our thing, and then we're waiting around, and right behind the stage pulls up this black SUV, and
out came the NWO. Scott Hall.
There was dudes that came out first that were part of the entourage, and then my man with the bandana, the hair, which I couldn't tell. It might have been. It felt like it was fake, but
probably extensions
in full stage, and then they wanted to. I think they were told they couldn't give out beer. They were told because of Ohio.
You cannot do that.
But they were up there to try to throw it, and then they were told they couldn't, so it went on a big thing. And then I think he was heading to one of the frat houses or something on campus after. It was a full sale. It was an experience.
That would have been a hell of a thing if the person saying, no, in fact, you cannot throw beer out to the stands. And he says, let me tell you something, brother. Hits him with a fist, hits him with the big boot, and then drops the leg.
Yeah.
Yes, Hogan was a racist and a not great person out of the ring. Also not great in the ring, if stories are to be believed from 40 years of reporting. But there's not a person who's alive that's seen or that knows about professional wrestling that doesn't know Hulk Hogan. And similarly with Ozzy Osbourne. You might not have liked his music or you might not have cared, but he was a generation.
PETA.
The bat thing. Yeah. Yeah. I for me, my first introduction to Ozzy was his reality show, was the Osbournes. And I wonder how many in my generation or generations
that was, yes.
Prior or
your
that was
generation,
for yours.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm also wondering if older generations or even younger generations have any, if they remember how they were introduced to the Prince of Darkness, I should say.
I heard someone say this week, this is the closest this generation has to a Beatle passing.
Because of this?
Because Ozzy. legend that basically invented an entire genre, influenced everybody known to man since then?
See, my problem with that is calling that this generation's Beatles, because Ozzy's basically the same age.
It's the same generation. Yeah, that's why it's like a different.
Like, not knocking Ozzy, and the Beatles are my favorite band, but like they're all old guys.
Yeah, they feel like it's still of the same generation's impact. Because if you're calling this like our generation, I don't know who it would be. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think that person is old enough yet.
I grew up listening to Ozzy as like classic rock. It wasn't new for me already.
Yeah, it's going to be like when Taylor Swift goes.
Well, man, I was going to say Liam Gallagher because Oasis has been in the news.
Oh, yeah.
He might be like our generation's Beatle. Like Oasis might be that band.
In England, certainly.
Yeah.
Right. Because, I mean, trying to think, Wonderwall, Champagne Supernova. Like there are a handful of songs that everybody knows from that band. And that's kind of like when I try to think of a Beatles of this generation. But
plus they kind of sound like the Beatles.
Well, they do. They very much do. Being all British and all. But yeah, I thought, Dane would be very interested to know that A, there are Hooters that are still around. It did file for chapter bankruptcy, but Hulk Hogan's company put in a bid to purchase the chain, and they want to revamp it to appeal to a younger audience.
And speaking of Ozzy, am I imagining I saw a billboard for an upcoming show in Columbus like recently for him?
There's no way.
Yes.
Really?
No,
you're imagining
imagining
okay.
that, yeah.
You had to have been, because he played his last show in Birmingham.
Now, they're releasing that as a movie next year, so maybe it was that?
There was a billboard up in Dublin, unless I'm crazy, and it was just a cloud, and it was hands like this, and it said Ozzy under it, and there was a date.
Maybe a tribute? Or maybe him. I don't know.
Maybe I dreamt it.
He did perform a show.
He did a show, but it's like in terms of like a full show, he's not done one in like 2 years.
Yeah, had to sit for most of the performance.
And I can tell you, he's not coming now. That I know for sure. He's not coming to Columbus
we can
now.
confirm because we're coming up on time here, and we need to confirm something. We can say if it was happening, it is not now.
We can't necessarily confirm that it won't be hologram Ozzy Osbourne. Because if there's a hologram I'd like to see, give me old 70s Black Sabbath Ozzy Osbourne. That'd be a hell of a show.
I'd ride the crazy train to that show for sure.
Absolutely. I don't need to see, I don't need to see rappers, but I think some of those larger than life rock personalities would absolutely do it. Dane, this was fun. We'll do it next week from Ohio State's camp on the Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Waddle, hop, or gallop your way to adventure. The Columbus Zoo invites you to follow the footsteps and the tails of animals from around the world. Explore 8 wild regions, including our newest North America trek. So what are you waiting for? Get your tail to our trails only at your Columbus Zoo. Get more information and tickets at columbuszoo.org.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
The Dublin Irish Festival, August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food, and fun. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org.
1-800-GOT-JUNK does 2 things differently.
We repurpose a lot of the junk we haul away.
So the donatables get donated to a family that needs them, and the recyclables get recycled.
Your neighbors are happy, and the planet is healthy.
What's number 2?
We have enough trucks that we can come the day you call us.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is the world's largest junk removal service.
And that's good for your neighbors, and for the planet.
And for you, because we can come the day you call us.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Aaron, I'm freaking out a little that you're giving away $500 in free repairs whenever someone buys a new water heater.
When people are faced with an unexpected expense, an unexpected gift helps restore balance to the universe.
Get Eco. How many things can our plumbers do for $500 or less?
Tons of things.
Like what?
We can repair a toilet that's not working. We can replace a hose bib, install a utility sink or a vanity, run a water line to an appliance, replace a garbage disposal.
Get Eco.
Replace a shutoff valve, fix an exposed water leak.
What's an exposed water leak?
It's one you can see. It's not inside a wall and it's not underground.
And we're going to do these sorts of things for free just because a person buys a water heater?
Yeah, for free.
Because we're restoring balance to the universe?
Balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
Give it away plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again HVAC technicians.
Who go to geteco.com.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460